Will the council meeting of December 23rd, 2024, please come to order? It is 9:04 in the morning. Before we begin a roll call, let's check where all the chickadees are. I know, Pro Tem, thank you.
Vice Chair Yukile Sugimura.
Good morning, everybody. Nice to see everybody in the chambers. Feliz Navidad, and looking forward to a very productive meeting.
Councilmember Tamara Paulton.
Excused.
Councilmember Gabe Johnson.
Excused.
Councilmember Kiani Rollins Fernandez.
Aloha kakahiaka and lonoika makahiki. There are currently, there is one testifier at the Molokai District Office on the ceremonial resolution. And apologies.
And joining the office from the Office of Council Services, joining the meeting from the Office of Council Services is Director David Rotz, Deputy Director Rochelle Kawasaki, and I'll transfer that back over to you, Chair.
Well, thank you. I do want to ask Member Sinensi, do we have anybody in the HANA office?
No testifiers, Chair.
Okay, thank you. And now, opening remarks will be presented by Pro Tem Kama. Pro Tem Kama.
Thank you, Chair. Every year during this season, households around the world celebrate the birth of an infant, God's gift to mankind. It is the celebration of his birth that was foretold centuries before his birth. It said, "For unto us a child is born, to us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace." And Luke said, "And she brought forth her firstborn son, wrapped him in swaddling clothes, and laid him in a manger, because there was no room for them in the inn. And there were in the same country shepherds abiding in the field, keeping watch over their flock by night. And lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them, and the glory of the Lord shone around them, and they were sore afraid. And the angel said unto them, Fear not, for behold, I bring you good tidings of great joy, which shall be to all people. For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, which is Christ the Lord. And this shall be a sign unto you. You shall find the babe wrapped in swaddling clothes, lying in a manger." And suddenly there was with the angel a multitude of heavenly hosts, praising God and saying, "Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace, goodwill toward men." And it came to pass, as the angels were gone away from them into heaven, the shepherds said to one another, "Let us now go even unto Bethlehem, and see this thing which is come to pass, which the Lord hath made known unto us." And they came with haste, and they found Mary and Joseph and the babe lying in a manger. And when they had seen it, they made known abroad the saying which was told them concerning this child. And all they that heard it wondered at those things which were told them by the shepherds. But Mary kept all these things and pondered them in her heart. And the shepherds returned, glorifying and praising God for all the things that they had heard and seen as told unto them. Members, Jesus the Christ came to give us peace and offer redemption through his plan of salvation for those who believe. We can have peace in our lives. We can accept God's plan of salvation, but it is our God-given right to choose. And members, I pray God bless you and yours during this season of peace, joy, and love. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Pro Tem Kama. We feel blessed. And now, friends, the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge.
Allegiance.
Decorum shall be maintained at all times. Any person who behaves in a manner that disrupts, disturbs, or impedes the orderly conduct of the council meeting can, at the discretion of the presiding officer or a majority of present council members, be ejected or banned from council meetings, or if participating remotely. Any more testifiers?
Chair, I don't see anyone. Hang on. There's someone raising their hand, calling in from phone number ending in 8047. If you'd like to testify on the ceremonial resolution, please go ahead.
Hello?
Can I testify now?
Yes, please proceed.
I can testify?
Yes.
Okay. My name is
Okay, you're muted. Okay, you're muted. Yeah. I know that's a new experience for you, but you're muted. You're muted. No, you're still muted. No, you're still muted, Jantel. Jantel. Something wrong with the... Can you hear?
Doesn't cooperate.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes doesn't cooperate.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes that could be the problem.
Okay.
Yeah. So if she wants to turn her video on and call by phone, and then provide audio testimony with her video, that could work.
Is she 298-8047? Or is that Kanani?
I think that was Miss Higby.
Lauren, are you speaking to her? Oh. Okay, we're gonna have to proceed. Let's see, give her another minute.
Oh? Hello?
Kanani, we're not ready for you yet.
Oh, I thought I heard my...
I know that's not Jantel. Okay, we can always have her testify after. Right now, we got to move this train forward. So,
Yes,
Ms.
are you
Clark.
able to hear me now? Hello, testing 1, 2, 3.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Oh my
morning.
goodness.
I know, you're so
No,
humble.
somebody didn't want me to testify. Thank you so much for waiting. It was so important. Okay.
Yeah.
Mahalo. Merry Christmas, council members, and mahalo for the opportunity to testify on this ceremonial resolution congratulating the Maui County Fire Department on 100 years. I just want to say that personally and professionally, I have been blessed with this organization that has continued to bring our community not just protection and safety, but also education, and has continued to be the thing that fosters great men and women to become productive citizens of our county. I am so appreciative of the men and women who give their lives to support our families. And as somebody who was raised by a grandfather who was a fire captain when there was a firehouse on Molokai, and then uncles and cousins and a husband that gave 30 plus years of their lives to serve our county, I'm so proud of the legacy that they have established. And I'm so proud of the way the fire department has morphed and adjusted to the changing times. It's not easy to be a paramilitary organization with its structures and rules and duties, and have to navigate through the different kinds of political climates and social structures and changes. But our fire department has remained professional, always attentive, has done the best that they could for our island, and especially through devastation like the Lahaina fire and Kula fires, and different kinds of things that have personally and professionally affected the department in the last 100 years. That brotherhood, that sisterhood is so solid. And so I just want to thank you, council members, the council members and mayors before you, our citizens and our people for supporting our department. And I want to thank the administration and the fire department administration and men and women for their tireless effort and dedication to making our community a better and safer place. And I want to mahalo the wives and loved ones and children who end up being raised without their mommies and daddies at home so that the rest of us can sleep safely at night. Mahalo.
Thank you. Very beautiful. Worth waiting for. Okay, anybody else wanting to testify?
No, it looks like Ms. Lindo was the last to testify, so I'll go ahead and give, I see Mike Foley. Go ahead and unmute if you are going to be testifying on this ceremonial resolution. Otherwise, we'll add your name later. Okay. Mr. Foley, we'll add your name to the general testimony, which will be after the ceremonial resolution. Madam Chair, go ahead and count down 3, 2, 1. There's no one else to testify on the ceremonial resolution.
Members, any objections to closing public testimony on ceremonial resolutions?
No
And
objection.
accepting written testimony?
No objection.
So ordered. Ms. Clerk.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Before you is Resolution 24-204, congratulating the Department of Fire and Public Safety on its 100th anniversary of dedicated service to the people of Maui County.
Member U'u Hodgins.
Thank you, Chair. I move to adopt Resolution 24-204.
Second.
Moved by Member U'u Hodgins, seconded by Vice Chair Sugimura, to adopt Resolution 24-204. Discussion. Member U'u Hodgins.
Thank you again, Clerk. May I please, Chair, may I please ask the clerk to read the resolution in its entirety? Thank you in advance.
Ms. Clerk.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and Member U'u Hodgins. Congratulating the Department of Fire and Public Safety on its 100th anniversary of dedicated service to the people of Maui County. Whereas the Wailuku Fire Department was established on July 1st, 1924 by the County Board of Supervisors in response to the need for increased fire protection after several significant fires on Maui. And whereas over the past century, the department has grown to include 10 fire stations on Maui, 2 fire stations, and a satellite station on Molokai, and 1 fire station on Lanai. And whereas another expansion came in 2012 after a charter amendment moved ocean safety from the Department of Parks and Recreation to the Maui Fire Department. And whereas ocean safety officers or lifeguards staff 10 towers at 8 county beach parks, including 12 grant-funded personnel at McKenna State Park, who collectively play a vital role in ensuring the welfare of residents and visitors in and around the waters of Maui County. And whereas in 2016, the department was renamed to the Department of Fire and Public Safety to encompass the mission to protect and preserve life, environment, and property on Maui, Molokai, Lanai, Kaho'olawe, and Molokini. And whereas the department is trained to respond and mitigate a wide variety of emergency situations using engine, ladder, rescue, and hazardous materials companies, tankers, mini pumpers, helicopters, rescue boats, personal watercraft, and utility vehicles. And whereas as of September 2024, the department proudly employs 472 dedicated personnel across Maui County who believe in the core values of professional excellence, community service and involvement, integrity, effective communication, health and safety, team and shared leadership, and innovation. And whereas the department has consistently exhibited and embodied excellence through its administration and maintenance program, fire and rescue operations and fire prevention bureau, training and health and safety bureaus, and ocean safety bureau, all of which contribute to a safer, more resilient community. And whereas the department's team of firefighters and ocean safety officers have responded to the call of duty with steadfast commitment, professionalism, and courage, serving as a source of pride and security for the people of Maui County. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Council of the County of Maui, 1, that it congratulates the Department of Fire and Public Safety on its 100th anniversary of dedicated service to the people of Maui County. 2, that it recognizes and commends the department for its extraordinary contributions to the safety and well-being of the community. 3, that it conveys its deepest appreciation and gratitude to the department's past and present employees whose dedication, sacrifice, skill, and bravery have been profoundly crucial to safeguarding the lives and property of the people of Maui County. And that number 4, that certified copies of this resolution be transmitted to Bradford Ventura, Chief, Department of Fire and Public Safety, Gordon Gillis, Chair, Fire and Public Safety Commission, the Honorable Richard T. Bisson, Jr., Mayor, County of Maui, and the Honorable Josh Green, MD, Governor, State of Hawaii.
Member U'u Hodgins.
Thank you, Chair. Members, I would like to ask your support of the resolution. It is a great honor to recognize the outstanding achievements of Chief Brad Ventura and the past and present employees of the Department of Fire and Public Safety, whose dedication and sacrifices sacrifices have served our community for the past 100 years. I respectfully ask for the member support of my motion. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Any more discussion? If not, all those in favor, did you want to say something?
Yeah, thank you.
Vice Chair Sugimura?
Thank you, Chair. I'm sure all of us know that the fire department has given, besides the 100 years and the many, many dedicated employees, has contributed to the safety of our citizens. And of course, especially during the wildfire in my community, Upcountry, as well as West Maui and all around. But I wanted to extend a special thanks to them for the sacrifices they made for the safety of our people. I just also want to say that all the hustle and bustle that went into passing that continuing resolution, hasn't there a provision for the continued Social Security provisions for fire and police, so that they can look towards more funding in their retirement. So I'm glad that happened. Thank you very much, and I support this. Thank you very much, Member Uhajans, for bringing this up.
Any more discussion? Member Rollins Fernandez.
Mahalo, Chair. I will join in the congratulations on the centennial anniversary of the department. I had the privilege of joining them at their community family day when they all celebrated with their families, and it was really, they had a display of the 100 years, and I got to see some of the past chiefs and say hi and see the different equipment that they've used in the past 100 years, and it was quite educational, and it was a really nice family day. Great food that they prepared themselves, and I mahalo for your continued service to all the firefighters, even when we're paddling and on Molokai, and I guess it would be embarrassing if I share this story, but I was so impressed when I called after the sun went down, and they responded like that. I've never done that before. I hopefully will never have to do that again. But I think their response to our community is always so impressive, and I'm really grateful. So, mahalo, Chair.
Are you saying that they had to rescue you from the eddy?
Not me.
Oh, okay.
No, there was a equipment malfunction, and we all come in at the same time, and when we're not all there and not accounted for, then the ocean, Kanaloa, can be scary. And so we ultimately did find the paddler. He paddled in somewhere else, and then. But the one that was paddling with us was a past captain, and so he was really embarrassed that I called. He is probably hating me right now for sharing the story.
Brad, were you there? Okay, anybody else? Yes, Member Senensi.
Mahalo, Chair. I too wanted to congratulate the firemen on their 100-year anniversary. Our firemen, our lifeguards are a big part of our communities, and I think this weekend we were reminded how that we live on an island community, and so for safety for our residents as well as for our visitors, they play an important role in keeping everyone safe, especially along the shoreline. So mahalo for your service and your dedication. Thank you.
All right. Okay, ready to vote? All those in favor of the motion, please raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
Okay, I see 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 ayes, 2 excused. Motion carries. Congratulations, our firefighters and their families. Chief, would you like to come down and say a few words? And then we're going to take pictures, okay, everybody? So how long have you been, of the 100 years, how long have you been there?
Only 22-ish.
Oh,
Yeah.
quite a bit.
Good morning. Mahalo. She said if I want to talk. I don't know about that, but I will. First, I just want to mahalo all of you. Mahalo Chair, Councilmember Hodgins for bringing this ceremonial resolution, and all of you council members for supporting our department, which serves our community every single day. Growing up, being 100 years old and all the accomplishments our department has had, is constantly changing. Everything we do, we need to look on the horizon, stay ahead of evolving, different technology, different challenges, and just stay in front of all the challenges that our community face, let alone our department. But for us to really understand where we are today, 100 years, we really need to recognize everybody who came before us. And those of us that are sitting with you today, those of us that are in the department now, are only here for a little period of time. And, we say little, but 25 years, maybe you work 30, is really a little period of time. The department's 100 years old and has many, many more years ahead of us. So we are grateful for all of those that have come before us, and it is our responsibility, those of us that are here now, to make sure we prepare the next generation and the next leaders in our community and our department to make sure that we can continue carrying forward with our mission. We had recruit ocean safety graduation last week, Thursday. We had fire graduation on Friday. And those are very reinvigorating days for our department. It reminds us of many things. One, we're all replaceable, because the next generation is coming right behind us and they need to. And then the second thing is that we continue to exist and we continue to do what we're doing only because of our community. We're here to serve our community, and if our community is not here and we have nobody to serve, then we're not needed. So we need to make sure we take care of our community, both at home and professionally, so that we can continue to serve them. In our recruit class, I shared with them in small sessions, and then I also share with them in graduation that a mother will trust you, a firefighter, as a complete stranger and give you maybe their child or a family member who's injured and potentially even dying without even knowing you. And the reason they do that is because all of the firefighters that came before us and all of the good work that's been done before us. And without all of that legacy and that leadership and that doing for our community, people would not trust us. And I go on to tell them that when you have a small child and you're picking a pediatrician or a dentist, you won't even pick that dentist or that pediatrician without asking your friends who's a good doctor, asking your friend who's a good dentist. Nowadays they'll go on Yelp and they'll look at Yelp reviews to make sure that they're taking their child to the right person. But if your child is choking, your child is drowning, your child is in some sort of trouble and the fire department shows up, they don't ask any questions, they just hand you their child. And that's an honor. And that's something that only comes because of those who came before us. So we need to recognize them and mahalo them for all the work they've done, all the past firefighters, chiefs, ocean safety officers in our department, and then the future ones ahead of us. Lastly, I just want to share that our department promises to always be here for our community, always strive to be better, and evolve with the ever-changing government and environment that we live in. That is the one guarantee. We will always have change where we work, where we are, who we serve. And so we as a department just need to be mindful of that and work with our community to make sure that we service their needs. So mahalo to all of you. Merry Christmas. Feliz Navidad. God bless you all.
And same to you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Can you all come down? Take a quick picture, please.
That's all of you up there in blue and white.
How long?
Members, we're going to have to take a recess for 5 minutes, so 9:31, we will reconvene. Recess. Will the council meeting of December 23rd, 2024 please reconvene? Ms. Clerk?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Moving on to presentation of written or oral testimony at the beginning of the meeting. At this time, individuals may testify on any item on the meeting agenda to be added to the testifier log online. Raise your hand in Teams. Once you've been added to the log, staff will lower your hand. If you're calling in by phone, follow the phone prompts to be added to the testifier log. Testifiers are listed in the order of sign up, and you can check your place in line by clicking on the testifier log in the chat. When your name is called to testify, please identify the item number that you're testifying on. And if you wish to testify later at the time the item is called, just let us know and we will move your name to that section. Chair, the first person to testify is Dylan Arizumi, testifying on Bill 156, to be followed by Jeremiah Jacinto.
Hi, aloha Chair, Vice Chair, and members of the Council. My name is Dylan Arizumi, and I am a high school student attending Maui High. I serve as a member of the Youth Council for the Coalition for Tobacco-Free Hawaii. I am in strong support for Bill 156. As a student, it's hard to ignore when people think vaping is just a harmless trend, but it is not. I have seen how flavored vapes are marketed directly to people like me. Fruit, candy, mint, and these flavors make vaping seem harmless, almost like a fun treat, but they're not. Flavored vapes are a getaway for young people to get hooked on nicotine. It's easier to ignore these dangers when the products taste like candy or fruit. I personally play a sport, and for those of us who play sports, vaping can have a greater impact. Nicotine and other chemicals found in vapes can harm lung function, making it harder to breathe during physical activity. This means reduced stamina, slow recovery, and less endurance, which can really hold us back in sports. The chemicals can also mess with our brains, affecting focus, coordination, and reaction time, critical things that you need in sports. It's really troubling when I see younger students getting involved when they think it's cool or safe. And not only that, but when there's youth that are found vaping in bathrooms, it's hard to catch them, and they'll continue to make it a habit until they can't get out of it by themselves. Thank you for allowing me to testify and for the support of the youth and the future.
Thank you. Is your uncle Tommy Arizumi?
Yes.
Yeah. He's a golfer. Any questions? If not, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Chair, the next testifier is Jeremiah Jacinto, testifying on Bill 156, followed by Alyssa Garro.
Aloha Chair, Vice Chair, and members of the Council. My name is Jeremiah Jacinto, and I'm a high school student attending H.P. Baldwin High School. I serve as a member of the Youth Council for the Coalition of Tobacco-Free Hawaii, and I am in strong support for Bill 156, which seeks to protect youth from the tobacco industry's predatory marketing practices. I have witnessed firsthand the devastating effects of vaping. A close friend of mine that I grew up with and cared deeply about turned to vaping as an escape during a difficult time in her life. It quickly became apparent that vaping offered no solace. Instead, it worsened their struggles. Tragically, this friend ultimately succumbed to the mental health challenges they were facing, leading to their suicide. This heartbreak has left an incredible mark on me and reinforced the urgent need to address vaping among the youth. Beyond the personal toll, vaping has severely disrupted our schools. This issue is not only distracting, but also a direct threat to the learning environment and well-being of students. Bill 156 is essential for protecting students like me and others across Maui County. By restricting the ability of the tobacco industry to market and prey on young, impressionable minds, we can take critical steps towards safeguarding our health and future. Passing this bill sends a clear message that our community prioritizes the well-being of its youth over the corporate profits. I urge you to stand with us and pass Bill 156 for the sake of my peers, for the memory of my friend, and for the health and safety of generations to come. We must act decisively. Mahalo nui loa for allowing me to testify on this critical matter, and Merry Christmas.
Thank you and Merry Christmas. Any questions, members? If not, thank you.
Chair, the next testifier is Leslie Garrow, to be followed by Eric Moto.
Good morning, Chair and members of the Council. My name is Leslie Garrow, and I represent Hawaii Public Health Institute as their Maui County Tobacco-Free Coordinator. I stand on my written testimony in strong support of Bill 156. Mahalo, and Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Members, questions? If not, thank you.
Chair, the next testifier is Eric Moto, testifying on Bill 188, to be followed by Kanani Higby.
Aloha Chair, aloha Council members. My name is Eric Moto, and I am the President of the Mount Tokuchi Mission of Pai'ia's Administrative Board. I am here this morning representing Mount Tokuchi in support of Bill 188. Mount Tokuchi is located in Pai'ia at 253 Hana Highway along the shores of Mount Tokuchi Bay. We are a Soto Zen Buddhist temple established over 118 years ago in 1906 by a community of first-generation Japanese immigrants. Mount Tokuchi's mission is to be a place of compassion, respect, and kindness for all who seek truth through the teachings of Buddha, the practice of Zen meditation and arts, and the fellowship of the Temple Sangha, our members. Our short-term vision is to stay in place in Pai'ia as a vibrant and relevant Soto Zen Buddhist mission. Located on our 4.2-acre site are temple and bell tower structures in a Japanese design style that are part of the Historic Hawaii Foundation's list of historic properties. Also on our property are a columbarium building and a large cemetery, which are the resting places for hundreds of temple family members spanning 3 generations. Our calendar of events includes religious services and Japanese cultural events and activities. Our annual fundraiser bazaar in March and our Obon festivities in July draw hundreds of people from all over Maui and abroad. Mount Tokuchi's beachfront and bay are a favorite spot for local fishermen and divers, and there are sometimes dozens of turtles on any given day seeking a sunny place to come ashore and rest. Locals and visitors come to the bay to enjoy the view. Over the last 2 decades, Mount Tokuchi has witnessed and been challenged by the increasing intensity and occurrences of large wave events caused by climate change. The loss of over 2 acres of shoreline property and the threat of loss and damage to our temple structures and cemetery prompted us to take action. We hired experts in the fields of coastal engineering, architecture, archaeology, and construction, and worked diligently with state and county agencies and officials to ensure all the proper permitting, testing, and reporting procedures were completed in order to install a temporary sandbag structure now in place on our shoreline. In collaboration with our consulting team, we have plans for the future of the bay and for enhanced outreach and communication with our Mount Tokuchi neighbors and the surrounding Pai'ia community. This past year, this council has done the good work of providing relief and resources to the Lahaina and Kula communities, and now our Pai'ia Shoreline Committee asks for your kokua. We need help to continue to address the challenges of shoreline erosion and to mitigate any hazards to our temple members and our community visitors. We hope that with your support, our good faith by the book efforts can serve as a positive role model for other shoreline properties dealing with beach erosion. And so again, we humbly ask for your support by voting in favor of Bill 188. Mahalo for your time.
Thank you. Members, questions? If not, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Chair, the next testifier is Kanani Higby. Please let us know which item you're testifying on, to be followed by Leslie Mulder.
Kanani, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, your turn.
Okay. Hi, my name is Kanani Higby. I'm testifying on resolution number 23-189, urging the state of Hawaii to create and support a task force to address the urgent problem of missing persons in Hawaii. As I stated before, my brother is a missing person, Karnalu Higby. He's been missing for over 2 years. And he has 3 children, a wife, and a huge family that cares about him. I know there's a cold case unit of 2 detectives on Maui, but that's not efficient in order for them to solve cases. They don't have the proper training, And when I inquire with Los Angeles Police, Honolulu Police, they do suggest that we should have a task force made up of federal, state, and county agencies so they can pool their resources and employees together in order to address the over 40 missing person cases in Hawaii, in Maui, just in Maui, but also there's hundreds across the state. This is definitely an epidemic, and everyone should care that there's people missing on Maui and the families don't know what happened to them. It definitely has devastated my family. It's the worst thing to ever happen to us. And I just feel that it would help solve the cases, give families answers, closures, if they were able to have a missing task force. And I do like County Rollins Fernandez suggestion that there should be a working group. I would like to be on the working group. That way we can make sure that the task force is diligent with meeting our needs of families of the missing people. And I just hope that this happens, because this has devastated my family, and I speak to many other families of the missing people, and they're very frustrated with having their family missing for years and years, and they still don't know what happened to their family member. These are family members who they were very close to, and it was like they vanished off the face of the earth. This is my second family member to have gone missing. And my first family member to have gone missing was my brother-in-law, and he was like the only person who survived his captors.
Kanani, can you conclude?
That had came after him.
Kanani, can you?
So just wrapping up, all I'm saying is that it's not like these people are just missing. When you look at my brother-in-law's case where he was a missing person, he actually survived attempted murder, where they had guns and shovels in their car and they kidnapped him after work using a ruse as a police officer, and they transported him to a remote area of the island ready to murder him. The only way he topped himself out was offering them more money than what they were being paid, and that's what saved his life. But it's important for people to realize these people aren't just missing. Likely, and it's really sad, there may be several cases where the bodies are buried here on Maui, and the families deserve closure just like anyone else would want closure. They should be able to lay their family down to rest where they feel it's, right for their family. But please, I ask that you pass this missing person task force, and also attach a working group made up of people who've lost their loved ones here on Maui and their families missing. Thank you.
Thank you. Members, any questions? If not, thank you, Kanani.
Chair, the next testifier is Leslie Milner, testifying on Bills 187, 188, and 189, to be followed by Tina Wildberger.
Aloha, Chair. Aloha, Council members. 3 budget amendments for your consideration today, up for first reading. Bill 187 is reappropriating funds for the Ohana Assistance Program. We briefly touched on this in the BFED meeting the other day. Those funds had to be disencumbered, and now they need to be re-encumbered so that those grants can get moving as quickly as possible. Bill 188, as already discussed, $500,000 for Paia Montecuji mission from the Managed Retreat Fund. This will be for work related to fuel tank hazard mitigation at Montecuji Bay. We have submitted a proposed amendment that is just to correct the name from Paia Montecuji mission to Montecuji Mission of Paia Maui. And finally, Bill 189, the Department of Fire and Public Safety has received an additional $91,798 from the State Department of Transportation Highway Safety Grant Fund. These funds will be used for battery-powered extraction tools at fire stations throughout the county. So just ask for your consideration of those today, and mele kalikimaka and ha'ole makahiki ho.
Very good. Thank you. Any questions? If not, thank you.
Mahalo, Chair. Mahalo, members.
Chair, the next testifier is Tina Wildberger, testifying on Bill 156, and she will be followed by Kimberlyn Scott.
Merry Christmas, Chair and council members. Thank you for your time today. I'm here to stand on submitted written testimony for the American Lung Association Hawaii for Bill 156 HD1. Thank you very much, in strong support.
Thank you, Tina. Any questions? If not, Merry Christmas.
Chair, the next testifier is Kimberlyn Scott, testifying on Resolution 23-189, and she will be followed by the person calling in with the last four digits, 4552.
Aloha, council members. My name is Kimberlyn Scott, and I am testifying in strong support of Reso 23189, and am again requesting that council suggest in Resolution 23189 that I be made a member of the proposed task force. My request is predicated on my personal experience and knowledge, as well as my volunteer advocacy with the families of the missing for the past 10 years. This resolution's goal is to address the critical need for more structured, systemic, and streamlined data collection between government agencies. One of the many reasons this is a critical need situation is because per capita, Hawaii now ranks number 2 for missing people in the United States, which holds true, though our recorded numbers are lower than what they really are, which should be very concerning to all. The numerical discrepancies between the truth and what the National Database for Missing and Unidentified, known as NamUs, and Hawaii Police Departments are making public is misleading to our communities. In the simplest terms, if our communities are unaware of the seriousness of the issues, they cannot protect themselves. According to NamUs, there are 42 missing people in our county. Compare that number to 45 missing on the MPD missing person page. The other Maui County missing person page lists 43 missing. The true number of missing is 61, according to my information. NamUs is missing cases that are 10 years old and older, like the Laura Vogel and Greg Prescott Farmer cases. We have cases like Joey Wyatt and Mo Monsalve, who have been declared deceased, but their remains are not found listed. But Charlie Scott, who was declared deceased, is not listed, though her body has not been found either. MPD still has Edward White listed, but he was found deceased and identified about 2 years ago. The case of Winston Kalani Therese Kamai from 2010 not only was not investigated, but his case was literally lost until his mother and I convinced MPD that he was in fact still missing. Edward Kimo Wendt was reported missing in 2022, but his case remains unlisted on the MPD, Maui County, and NamUs pages. Our current chief of police has upgraded technology and created the cold case task force, but these adjustments are not enough, which is evidenced by the long-term incorrect data on MPD, the county website, and NamUs. Families themselves cannot upload their own cases to NamUs without the support of police departments, which again is evidenced by the large discrepancy in total missing cases. These are just examples of incorrect data that I can fit into a 3-minute testimony. There are more. Please create this task force. It is a first step towards getting the correct data, which will allow Hawaii to apply for funding to help our police force and the families of the missing. Mahalo for your time.
Thank you. Members, questions? If not, thank you very much.
Chair, the next testifier is calling in from the last four digits, 4552, testifying on Resolution 23-189, to be followed by Jill Tomashiro. You may proceed.
Again?
Oh. For the person calling in with the last 4552, if you are online, you can go ahead and unmute on your end and proceed with your testimony. This is last call for now. We'll come back to you for the last four digits, 4552.
Can you not hear me?
We can hear you now.
Oh, okay, there we go. Hi, this is Karen Huff. I am the sister of Kevin Winters, and I'm calling in to testify on Res 23189. And so my brother Kevin's been missing since September 3 of 2021. He disappeared. He used to work and live at the North Shore Hostel in Wailuku. It is now called the Howsett Hostel. My mother would speak to him twice a day. He was allegedly let go for stealing a coworker's phone, which he did not. I have since verified. The last known proof of life is he's depositing money and by the Maui Brewing Company at the Hawaiian ATM. I forget the name of the bank. I think it's First Hawaiian Savings or something. And then he had vanished after that. I have spent the last 3 years being his advocate and his voice because he does not have one. I cannot begin to tell you the roadblocks I've encountered, the rabbit holes, the fact that I flew there, had to get a GoFundMe, and was turned around, never got to meet with my detective. I don't even know where the detective went that was assigned to the case. I work a full-time job. This is my part-time job. I'm just trying to get some closure to find out what happened. I'm not seeking revenge. I'm just literally trying to figure out he deserves justice. He didn't just disappear. He was made to disappear. I'm confident after my own investigation that that's what happened. My parents, they deserve closure. Their health is failing and they're elderly. They'll be coming home hopefully in a day. And I would love nothing more than to my mom's every day asking me if I've heard anything about Kevin, to tell her that somebody is working on that. So I please urge of you to this task force. That's a great idea, but I also, because I'm in contact with a lot of the families, urge you to also, reach out to us to find out. I'd be glad from 4,000 miles away to help wherever I can because I've learned a lot. And I really just urge you to join or have this task force. And with the cooperation, to not leave a stone unturned in South My Brother's case, along with many of the other missing persons cases. There's just a ton of red flags, and I know when Chief Pelletier was the year that my brother went missing, he had mentioned in one of the Maui News or something about funding for this task force or for the cold case unit. We have a cold case unit. I now have a different detective. I don't get updates on anything. I give him information. I'm just wondering, I know billboards are illegal, but what about life-size posters? Something to just get the community involved, because a lot of them don't even know these people if they've been found or they haven't been found. And I just, I'll wrap it up. I know I only have 3 minutes. Kevin should be home spending Christmas with his family. He has no voice, and I'll continue to press on because no distance is going to separate the love I have for him. Merry Christmas, and God bless you all.
Thank you very much. Members, do you have any questions? If not, thank you again.
Chair, the next testifier is Jill Tomashiro testifying on Bill 156, to be followed by Mike Foley.
Good morning, Chair and members of the Council. Jill Tomashiro, testifying on behalf of the Hawaii State Department of Health, Dr. Kenneth Fink. We stand on our written testimony in support of Bill 156, CD1. We thank the Council for their initiative in moving this measure forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Members, questions? If not, thank you very much. May we have the next testifier?
Chair, currently the last testifier signed up is Mike Foley testifying on Bill 188. Mike Foley.
Aloha.
Aloha.
Aloha, Chair, Vice Chair, members of the Council. Mike Foley here. I am a coastal engineer working with the Montecuji mission since 2018. Testifying in strong support of Bill 188. Of course, as you've heard from Eric Moto of the mission, they're facing challenges with erosion for decades now at the mission, at this important community resource in Paia. Since working with them, I've observed an erosion rate of around 3 feet per year in spots of the bay. This erosion has been crumbling the coastal bluff into the ocean. It's taken with it graves, The divers who use this bay frequently can tell you that there are tombstones, headstones scattered along the ocean floor in this area from the graveyard. And of course, the erosion threatens this community resource. It's threatening the integrity of the historic temple, the community kitchen, where they cook up the chow fun that's famous at Obon. It's threatening the minister's home, the reverend's house, where him and his family live and provide their service to this community, and other structures. Since the 1930s, Maui County has been, or beginning in the 1930s, Maui County started to mine sand from Montecuji Bay for the use to make concrete for public infrastructure. The loss of sand is a major factor, significant reason why we're experiencing all this erosion. Sandy beaches provide a buffer, of course, to the soil that's landward, and without that sand, we're seeing just soil crumbling into the bay quickly. Unfortunately, the erosion has now exposed an old fuel pipe, and so this fuel pipe powered the crematorium that once took care of the remains for the congregation. The crematorium has since crumbled into the ocean, the bricks scattered along the beach and in the bay, but the fuel pipe remains on the beach, and behind that someplace is a fuel tank. And so this important measure provides funding for Montecuji Mission to address this important public and environmental risk. And urgent action is needed. I urge you to please pass this measure today so that they can get to work. You've probably all know that we had a massive swell event this weekend, and Montecuji Bay sustained damage. Time is definitely running out. Thank you for your support, and aloha.
Thank you, members. Questions? If not, thank you very much.
Chair, Mr. Foley was
Excuse me, wait.
Oh,
Ms. Clerk.
Oh.
Member Hodgins has a question.
Actually, I have a question for you. When this item comes up on the agenda, can we please call Mr. Foley if he's available?
To be a resource person?
Yes, please.
Any objections, members? Yeah, I'm sure you're all familiar with his expertise. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, we'll call him. Thank you. Ms. Clerk.
Chair, there's no one else currently signed up to testify at the beginning of the meeting. If there is anyone who would like to provide testimony at this time, this is your opportunity, and this is last call. The countdown is 3, 2, 1. Chair, there is no one indicating a desire to testify at this time.
Members, any objections to closing public testimony for a testimony at the beginning of the meeting? And accepting written testimony. Thank you. So ordered. Ms. Clerk.
Chair, there is no business before the council on H, minutes, or I, action on the consent calendar, so we're moving to J, communications. We've got no one signed up currently to testify. If there is anyone that would like to testify on communications, this is your opportunity, and this is last call. The countdown is 3, 2, 1. Chair, there's no one indicating a desire to testify on communications.
Members, any objections to closing public testimony on communications and accepting written testimony?
No objections. I have a question.
Yes, Vice Chair.
Because we have so many students here regarding Bill 156, at the appropriate time, can you kind of move it up so that they can go back to class?
Sure.
If Clerk can look at that.
They're on break.
Oh, winter break. Oh, they want to stay with us all day. Okay.
Yep. No, not all day. Yeah. All right. Where were we?
Chair, we're on communications.
Okay.
Chair, before you is County Communication 2434, Councilmember Paulton transmitting a proposed amendment to Resolution 23-189 entitled Urging the State of Hawaii to Create and Support a Task Force to Address the Urgent Problem of Missing Persons in Hawaii.
Member Hodgins.
Thank you, Chair. If there are no objections, may I please request that County Communication 24-34 be postponed to later in the agenda when we consider 23-189.
No objections.
Any objections?
No objections.
Okay, we'll move that later.
Thank you.
We'll take it up later, Ms. Clerk.
Chair, we're now on K, committee reports. There is no one currently signed up to testify on committee reports, but I see Mr. Law making his way to the podium.
Aloha kakahiaka, aloha kako, aloha akaku. Hawaiian word of the day, ho'oku, with the makron above the U and ku. It means to set up, make stand, establish as a society. Also means to brace a canoe with a paddle while sailing or coasting over waves in order to steer and steady the canoe. And I would like to thank the chair of the Efficiency Solutions and Circular Systems Committee. Well, the only word I can translate on that is poi poi so far. For committee report 24-125, 126, and 127. This is a long time coming. I'm speaking of 100 years. And especially interesting to me is the part where it says relating to public inspection of administration rules. So I'll be seeing you guys soon on that one. Thank you very much.
More testifiers?
No, Chair, there is not, so this is last call, and the countdown is 3, 2, 1. Chair, there's no one indicating a desire to testify.
On committee reports?
Correct.
Okay. Any objections to closing public testimony on committee reports and accepting written testimony?
No objections.
So ordered, Ms. Clerk.
Chair from the Budget, Finance, and Economic Development Committee is CR 24-121, recommending referral of bills to the council chair for the term beginning January 2nd, 2025, relating to 1, amending Title III Maui County Code on monetary donations during emergency, and 2, amending Chapter 3.97 Maui County Code on use of the Managed Retreat Revolving Fund.
Vice Chair Sugimura.
There's no objections. May I please request the clerk to also call CR 24-122?
No objections, members? So this would be CR 24-121 and 24-124, did you say?
No, 122.
122. Okay. Ms. Clerk.
Chair, before you is 24-122, recommending first reading of Bill 170 CD1 2024 to amend the fiscal year 2025 budget by 1, amending Section 2 estimated revenues by increasing carryover savings general fund by $1.5 million, 2, amending Section 4C3A1I Department of Management Wailuku Kahului Community Plan Area Government Facilities General Fund by increasing the appropriation for the 60 South Church Street building renovations in the amount of $1.5 million, 3, adjusting the totals accordingly, and 4, amending Appendix C Capital Improvement Projects Department of Management Wailuku Kahului Community Plan Area by increasing the appropriation for the 60 South Church Street building renovations by $1.5 million.
Vice Chair Sugimura.
Thank you. I move to adopt the recommendations in CRs 24-122 and 121-122. Thank you.
Moved by Vice Chair Sugimura, seconded by Member Hodgins, to recommend approval of committee reports 24-121 and 24-122. Discussion, Vice Chair Sugimura.
Members, CR 121 recommends the referral of 2 bills to the council chair for the next term. This will allow next year's council to deliberate on these matters. CR 24-122 is for bills 170 CD1 2024 to recognize $1.5 million in carryover savings from the general fund for the 60 South Church Street building renovations project to account for change orders as well as additional charges resulting from delays. I respectfully ask for the members' support of my motion.
Any more discussion? If not, all those in favor of the motion, please raise your hand. Say aye. I see 7 ayes, 2 excused. Motion carries. Ms. Clerk.
Thank you, members.
Thank you, Madam Chair. From the Disaster Resilience, International Affairs, and Planning Committee is Committee Report 24-123, recommending referral of resolutions to the council chair for the term beginning January 2, 2025, relating to 1, parking for electric vehicles, 2, initiating updates to the West Maui Community Plan in alignment with West Maui's infrastructure plans in the aftermath of the August 2020 wildfires, and 3, providing the establishment of the West Maui Hospital and Medical Center through the guarantee of the state special purpose revenue bond issuance.
Member Hodgins.
Thank you. I move to adopt the recommendation in CR 24-123.
Second.
It's been moved by Member Hodgins, seconded by Member Sinensi, to approve the recommendations in Committee Report 24-123. Discussion, Member U. Hodgins.
Thank you. Rule 22 of Rules of the Council provides for end-of-term filing for referral of bills and resolutions pending before committees. At its meeting of December 4th, your DRIP committee met and voted 5-0 to recommend the items attached to Exhibit A of this committee report be referred to the Council Chair for the term beginning January 2nd, 2025. I respectfully ask for the members' full support of my motion.
Any more discussion? If not, all those in favor of the motion, please raise your hand. Say aye.
Aye.
7 ayes, 2 excused, motion carries. Okay, Mr. Clerk.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Before you is Committee Report 24-124, recommending the following. 1, first reading of Bill 21, CD1 2023 to 1, allow after-hours emergency airstrip operations at Kapalua Airport by amending the conditions of zoning under Section 19.510.050 Maui County Code, and 2, correct the tax map keys, property description, and acreage for Kapalua Airport, and 2, recordation of the unilateral agreement.
Member U. Hodgins.
Thank you, Chair. I move to refer Bill 21 CD1 2023 to the Council Chair for the term beginning January 2nd, 2025.
Second.
Moved by Member U. Hodgins, seconded by Member Cook, to approve Committee Report 24-124, was it? Yeah, 124. 124. Any more discussion? Oh, members, oh, okay, you're starting to sound alike.
Oh, boy.
My correction, my mistake, correct the secondary to be Member Sinensi. Any more discussion?
Yes, thank you, Chair. Committee staff was notified by the State Department of Transportation via phone that they are unable to sign and execute the unilateral agreement attached to Bill 21, 2023 at this time. The department noted that further clarification is needed to determine whether emergency airstrip operations at Kapalua Airport are authorized under the governor's emergency proclamation or mayor's emergency proclamation. Referral of Bill 21 CD1 2023 will ensure that we do not lose any progress on the DRIP committee that we have made during this past council term. And at this time, again, I ask for the members' support of my motion. Thanks, Chair.
Any more discussion? No? All those in favor of the motion, please raise your hand. Say aye. 7 ayes, 2 excused, motion carries.
Chair, from the Efficiency Solutions and Circular Systems Committee is Committee Report 24-125, recommending referral of bills to the Council Chair for the term beginning January 2, 2025, relating to 1, amending Chapter 20.08.031 Maui County Code relating to cultural resource protection, and 2, amending Chapter 1.16 Maui County Code relating to public inspection of administrative rules.
Member Rollins-Fernandez.
Mahalo, Chair. I think I can do all three in one motion if there are no objections. May I request that the CR...
Any objections, members, to combining the three?
Mahalo for reading my mind.
Okay.
So I'll call Committee Report 24-126, recommending first reading of Bill 127, CD1, 2024, to implement Charter Section 13-17, requiring the county to operate as a bilingual government and to publish official meeting agendas in English and Olelo, Hawaii. And Committee Report 24-127, recommending first reading of Bill 117, CD1, 2022, to authorize the mayor to enter into an intergovernmental agreement with the University of Hawaii to provide Hawaiian language and Hawaiian studies workshops through UH Maui College for county employees.
Member Rollins-Fernandez.
Mahalo, Chair. I move to adopt the recommendations in Committee Reports 24-125, 24-126, and 24-127.
Second.
Moved by Member Rollins-Fernandez, seconded by Member Sinensi, to approve the recommendations in Committee Reports 24-125, 126, and 127. Discussion, Member Rollins-Fernandez.
Mahalo, Chair. For Committee Report 24-125, Rule 22 of the Rules of the Council provides at the end of term filing or referral of bills and resolutions pending before committee. At its December 4th meeting, your Efficiency Solution and Circular System Committee voted 5-0 to recommend the bills listed on Exhibit A of the committee report be referred to the Council Chair for the term beginning January 2nd, 2025. For Committee Report 24-126, your Efficiency Solution and Circular System Committee met on December 4th, 2024 to discuss Bill 127, 2024, the first step toward implementing Charter Section 13-17, requiring that the county operate as a bilingual government and the official meeting agendas of the county be published in English and Olelo Hawaii. Charter Section 13-17 provides that the county's official writings be prepared and made available in both official state languages, English and Hawaiian, as determined by ordinance. The charter amendment was designated as Charter Commission Proposal 2 and approved by the electorate at the 2022 general election as a pilot project. Your Efficiency Solutions and Circular Systems Committee has been publishing its committee meeting agendas since July 1st, 2024, Maka'olelo, Hawaii. Your committee agreed to revise Bill 127's effective date to September 1st, 2025 to allow time for the hiring personnel and standardizing agenda formats, and they are welcome to do it before that date, of course. Your committee voted 6-0 to recommend passage of Bill 127 CD1 2024 on first reading, and the bill was signed by Corporation Counsel. And finally, Committee Report 24-127, your ESCS committee met on December 4th, 2024 to discuss Bill 117, 2022 to authorize the mayor to enter into an intergovernmental agreement with the University of Hawaii to provide Hawaiian language and Hawaiian studies workshop for county employees through UH Maui College. Bill 127, 2022 was proposed by a prior administration. The managing director and the director and deputy director of OEV Resources said that the current administration supports the bill. These optional classes for county employees will be geared toward building a better cultural understanding and a more inclusive and complete history of Maui through a Hawaiian lens. And it was noted that both the executive branch and the legislative branch, so the council, and OCS may also attend these optional classes if they would like to. Your committee agreed to revise Bill 117 and the Memorandum of Agreement attached as Exhibit 1, adding additional workshops and incorporating non-substantive revisions for clarity, consistency, and style. Your committee voted 5-0 to recommend passage of Bill 117, CD1, 2022. On first reading, the bill was signed by Corporation Counsel. I ask for the members' continued support of these items. Mahalo, Chair.
Any more discussion? If not, all those in favor of the motion, please raise your hand, say aye.
Aye.
7 ayes, 2 excused, motion carries. Ms. Clerk?
Thank you, Madam Chair. From the Housing and Land Use Committee is Committee Report 24-128, recommending referral of bills to the Council Chair for the term beginning January 2, 2025, relating to 1, amending subsection 2.96.060B of Maui County Code to amend the residential workforce housing deed restrictions to increase the time period for all restrictions. 2, amending Chapter 3.35 Maui County Code to provide a stable and continuing source of funding to be used for planning, administering, and constructing affordable and workforce housing projects, and to provide a policy for the use of the funding. 3, establishing an ordinance that restarts the deed restricted period when a residential workforce housing unit is sold during the deed restricted period. 4, amending the eligibility criteria for residential workforce housing units to expand eligibility to individuals or families displaced by an emergency under Chapter 127A Hawaii Revised Statutes, or who are income and asset qualified but held a disqualifying interest in real property within the last 3 years. 5, the change in zoning with conditions of properties related to the Lanai Project District 2 Ko'ele at Lanai City, Lanai, Hawaii, and an amendment to Chapter 19.71 Maui County Code relating to Lanai Project District 2 Ko'ele. 6, increasing the deed restriction period for residential workforce housing ownership units and expediting county's purchase of residential workforce housing units when offered to the county. 7, increasing the allowable density in the R1, R2, and R3 residential zoning districts to provide for additional housing opportunities in Maui County. 8, providing lower cost opportunities for more autonomous living areas in a dwelling unit by allowing for kitchenettes and dwelling units in the residential and rural districts on Maui and Lanai, and require a dwelling unit with a kitchenette to be occupied on a long-term residential basis. And 9, addressing non-conforming structures and uses damaged, destroyed, or affected by an emergency or disaster declared by proclamation of the governor to constitute a state of emergency under Chapter 127A Hawaii Revised Statutes.
Pro Tem Kama. This is CR 24-128. committee report.
I'm sorry, Chair. I had my notes and I got to go get them again.
Oh, we can skip over this and come back to it. Do you want us to do that?
Oh, I think I got it. Sorry. I move to adopt the recommendation in CR 24-128.
Second.
Moved by Pro Tem Kama, seconded by Vice Chair Sugimura, to approve the recommendations in Committee Report 24-128. Discussion, Pro Tem Kama.
Members, the Housing and Land Use Committee met on December 2nd, 2024, to consider the list of bills for referral to the chair for the term beginning January 2nd, 2025. The list is attached to the committee report as Exhibit A. Your committee considered the list and then voted 7-0 to recommend the bills noted on Exhibit 1 be referred to the council chair for the term beginning January 2nd, 2025. Committee Chair Kama, Vice Chair Cook, and members Lee, Paulson, Sinenzi, Sugimura, and Hodgins voted aye. Committee members Johnson and Rollins Fernandez were excused. Your Housing and Land Use Committee recommends that the bills noted on Exhibit A be referred to the council for the term beginning January 2nd, 2025. I ask for the members' support of my motion.
Any more discussion? If not, all those in favor of the motion, raise your hand, say aye. 7 ayes, 2 excused, motion carries. Ms. Clerk?
Chair from the Water and Infrastructure Committee is CR 24-129, recommending referral of bills to the council chair for the term beginning January 2nd, 2025, relating to 1, amending Chapter 3.75 Maui County Code relating to community facilities districts, 2, amending Section 18.20.140 Maui County Code relating to utility lines and facilities, 3, amending Section 16.25.201 Maui County Code relating to improvements to public streets, and 4, amending Chapter 2.60 Maui County Code on reports of civil fines.
Member Cook.
I move to adopt recommendations in Committee Report 24-129.
Second.
It's been moved by Member Cook, seconded by Vice Chair Sugimura, to approve the recommendations in Committee Report 24-129. Discussion, Member Cook.
Thank you, Chair. Rule 22 of the Rules of the Council provides for end-of-term filing or referral of bills and resolutions pending before the committees. Your committee met on December 5th, 2024, and voted 7-0 to recommend the bills attached on Exhibit A of the committee report to be referred to the council chair for the term beginning January 2nd, 2025. I respectfully ask for the members' support of my motion.
Any more discussion? If not, all those in favor of the motion, please raise your hand, say aye.
Aye.
7 ayes, 0 noes, 2 excused, motion carries. Ms. Clerk.
Chair, before you is CR 24-130, recommending first reading of Bill 146 CD1 2024 to require the Department of Water Supply to estimate domestic water demand and assess development impact fees based on projected gallons per day usage rather than water fixture counts.
Member Cook.
I move to adopt the recommendations in Committee Report 24-130.
Second. Moved by Member Cook, seconded by Member Hodgins, to approve the recommendations in Committee Report 24-130. Discussion, Member Cook.
Thank you, Chair. Your committee met on December 5th, 2024 to discuss Bill 146. Bill 146 would require the Department of Water Supply to estimate domestic water demand and assess development impact fees based on project gallons per day usage rather than the water fixture counts. This bill aims to transition the department away from using the Hunter's Curve method, which overestimates peak water demand and would help to modernize our county water code. Your committee amended this bill by replacing the word cap with maximum capacity of, requiring the director to provide written quarterly reports until December 31st, 2025, and changing the bill's effective date to January 1st, 2026. Your committee voted 8-0 to recommend passage of Bill 146 CD1 on first reading. I respectfully ask for the members' support of my motion.
Okay, any more discussion? If not, all those in favor of the motion, please raise your hand, say aye.
Aye.
7 ayes, 2 excused, motion carries.
Chair, before you is CR 24-131, recommending first reading of Bill 180 CD1 2024 to allow the use of private water catchment collection and storage tank systems of up to 30,000 gallons in agricultural, residential, and rural districts.
Member Cook.
I move to adopt the recommendations in Committee Report 24-131.
Second.
Moved by Member Cook, seconded by Vice Chair Sugimura to approve Committee Report 24-131. Discussion, Member Cook.
Thank you, Chair. Your committee met on December 5th, 2024 to discuss Bill 180. Bill 180 would allow the use of private water catchment collection and storage tank systems of up to 30,000 gallons in agricultural rural districts. Your committee amended Bill 180 by 1, establishing a new section under Chapter 14.01 for private water catchment systems. 2, revising the definition of private water catchment system. 3, allowing the use of private water catchment systems in residential districts. And 4, deleting subsection 14.05.020F relating to the applicability of subdivision in agricultural or rural districts that propose to rely on a private water catchment system. The Department of Water Supply supported Bill 180 as it will help to reduce peak water demands in the summer and reduce the strain on the county's water supply year-round. Further, the use of these catchment systems will serve as a daily water source for ranchers, farmers, and residents in the county's agricultural, residential, and rural districts. Your committee voted 6-0 to recommend passage of Bill 180, CD1 on first reading. I respectfully ask for your members' support of my motion.
Any more discussion? Yes, Vice Chair Sugimura.
I wanted to thank Member Cook for actually the last two bills, but this Bill 180, increasing the catchment to 30,000 gallons, is really going to be a game changer for Upcountry and our farmers, and we appreciate your hard work. Thank you.
All right, any more discussion? If not, all those in favor of the motion, please raise your hand. Say aye.
Aye.
7 ayes, 0 noes, 2 excused. Motion carries.
Chair from the Water Authority, Social Services and Parks Committee is CR 24-132, recommending referral of bills to the Council Chair for the term beginning January 2nd, 2025, relating to 1, establishing a new Chapter 3.85 Maui County Code, creating the Feral Animal Management Fund. 2, amending the traffic code by expanding the volunteer parking enforcement program. 3, requiring certain businesses to maintain naloxone on their premises. And 4, amending Chapter 13.04A Maui County Code to authorize a community recreational gardens program.
Member Sinensi.
Thank you, Chair. May I also request that CR 24-133 also be called up?
Any objections, members?
No objections.
Ms. Clerk.
Chair, before you, CR 24-133, recommending referral of Bill 111-2024, relating to amending Title IX Maui County Code to 1, establish procedures for the compassionate removal and storage of personal property in public places, and 2, recognize a human right to shelter, including offering access to services to stabilize one's life and transition into supportive or permanent housing, to the Council Chair for the term beginning January 2nd, 2025.
Member Sinensi.
Mahalo, Chair. Move to adopt the recommendations in CR 24-132 and CR 24-133.
Second.
Moved by Member Sinensi, seconded by Vice Chair Sugimura, to approve Committee Reports 24-132 and 24-133. Discussion. Member Sinensi.
Thank you, Chair. For CR 24-132, Rule 22 of the Rules of the Council provides for the end of term filing for referral of bills and resolutions pending before the committees. Your Water Authority, Social Services, and Parks Committee met on December 2nd, 2024, and voted 5-0 to recommend the bills attached to Exhibit A of the committee report be referred to the Council Chair for the term beginning January 2nd, 2025. And for CR 24-133, your Water Authority, Social Services, and Parks Committee met on October 24th and December 2nd, 2024, to discuss Bill 111, 2024. By correspondence dated October 22nd, 2024, the Managing Director transmitted proposed amendments to Bill 111. Your committee received oral and written testimony requesting more time to review Bill 111 and the Managing Director's amendments. Your committee agreed further review and discussion was needed between county agencies and the organizations working with houseless individuals. Your committee voted 6-0 to recommend Bill 111, 2024 be referred to the council chair for the term beginning January 2nd, 2025. Chair, the work the committee completed, including the proposed CD1 version of Bill 111 with amendments your committee agreed upon during the October 24th meeting, will be transmitted with Bill 111, 2024 to the committee that receives this item next term. And I humbly ask for the members' full support of my motion.
Any more discussion? If not, all those in favor of the motion, please raise your hand. Say aye.
Aye.
7 ayes, 2 excused, motion carries. Ms. Clerk.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Moving on to resolutions. If anyone wishes to testify on the resolutions in Section L, please raise your hand in Teams or make your way to the podium. Chair, seeing no one doing either, go ahead and count down. 3, 2, 1. There's no one to testify on resolutions.
Members, any objections to closing public testimony on resolutions and accepting a written testimony?
No objections.
So ordered, Ms. Clerk.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Before you is Resolution 24-189, urging the state of Hawaii to create and support its task force to address the urgent problem of missing persons in Hawaii.
Member Hodgins.
Thank you. I move to discharge the Disaster Resilience, International Affairs and Planning Committee from further consideration of Resolution 23-189 under Rule 5E of Rules of the Council.
Second.
Moved by Member Hodgins, seconded by Member Rollins Fernandez, to discharge the committee of this item. Discussion under the rule.
This resolution was discussed at the DRIP Committee's meeting on December 18th, 2024. Discharge is the first step we must take before we can consider action on this resolution today. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, any more discussion on that? All those in favor of the motion, raise your hand. Say aye. 7 ayes, 2 excused, motion carries. Ms. Clerk? I'm sorry, Member Hodgins.
That's okay, thank you. I move to adopt Resolution 23-189.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Member Hodgins, seconded by Member Rollins Fernandez to adopt Resolution 23-189. Discussion, Member Hodgins.
Thank you, Chair. At this time, may I please also ask the clerk to recall County Communication 24-34?
Any objections, members?
No
Ms.
objections.
Clerk?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Recalling County Communication 24-34 from Councilmember Paulton, transmitting a proposed amendment to Resolution 23-189 entitled Urging the State of Hawaii to Create and Support a Task Force to Address the Urgent Problem of Missing Persons in Hawaii.
Member Hodgins.
Thank you. I move to substitute Resolution 23-189 with the proposed FD1 version attached to County Communications 24-34 and to file County Communication 34-34.
Second.
Moved by Member Hodgins, seconded by Member Rollins Fernandez. Okay, and any discussion on the motion?
Yes. The FD1 version amends Resolution 23-189 by updating the number of open missing persons cases, inserting a second and third be it resolved clause to delineate the task force responsibility and specify the task force composition. 3, amending several recipients under the new fourth be it resolved clause, and 4, incorporating other non-substantive revisions for clarity and consistency. In addition, I also move to amend the proposed FD1 version of Resolution 24-189 by deleting 258 open cases of missing persons in its third whereas clause and inserting 260 open cases of missing persons as of December 18th, 2024 in its place.
And are you going to include Rule 19 in your motion or make a motion later on that one?
That one's to come, Chair.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, any discussion? Member Rollins Fernandez.
Mahalo, Chair. First, I wanted to thank our extraordinary clerks for getting the item up on Granicus. If anyone tried to access CC 24-34 earlier, the document wasn't attached, but they quickly got it attached. Second, are we going to get the FD1 distributed? Or? I don't need an FD1. I just am asking if there was going to be one.
It was attached to the County Communication 24-34, and then there was a further motion, though, to amend the number of missing persons. If I could, Chair, I didn't catch who the seconder was that on.
It was me.
Thank you.
Do you need more information besides that? Does anyone need a copy? Apparently not.
I'm okay.
You okay?
With not.
No one else is asking. That's why. All right. Proceed, Member Uwu-Hodgins.
Thank you, Chair. This amendment would provide a more accurate number of missing persons in the state since the ASF was posted. Thank you, Chair.
Any more discussion? All right. This is on the substitution, right? Member Uwu-Hodgins?
The amendment to the substitution.
The amendment to the substitution. Or is that amending the FD1 version?
Yes, to
Okay.
correct the number.
The correct number. All right. Any more discussion on that? If not, all those in favor of the motion, raise your hand, say aye. 7 ayes, 2 no, 7 ayes, 2 excused, motion carries. Member Uwu-Hodgins?
Thank you, Chair. The DRIP Committee discussed Resolution 23-189 at its meeting of December 18th, 2024. Resolution 23-189 would urge the state to establish a task force on missing persons comprised of county, state, and federal agencies, as well as members of the public. The Department of Police had no objections to the establishment of this proposed task force. Ms. Kimberlyn Scott participated in the committee's discussion and addressed the importance of creating this task force. And at this time, if I could also move to suspend Rule 19C of Rules of the Council.
Second.
Moved by Member Uwu-Hodgins, seconded by Member Rollins Fernandez, is to suspend Rule 19C of the Rules of the Council. Discussion, Member Uwu-Hodgins.
Thank you, Chair. Suspending Rule 19C will allow us to adopt the proposed FD1 version of Resolution 23-189 today.
Any more discussion? If not, all those in favor of the motion, raise your hand, say aye.
Aye.
7 ayes, 2 excused, motion carries.
And Chair, could we go back to, so we approved, you folks approved the correcting of the number of missing persons, but we need to vote on the substitution.
Okay. All those in favor of the substitution, raise your hand, say aye.
Aye.
7 ayes, 2 excused, motion carries. Okay.
And then the main motion as substituted.
As substituted, well amended. On the main motion now. Any further, yes, Member Rollins Fernandez.
Further discussion, Mahalo Chair. I just wanted to acknowledge our testifiers and Ms. Scott's request to be recommended to serve on this task force created by the state for the purposes of creating or urging the state to consider creating the task force would be one action, and then a recommendation for Ms. Scott to serve on this task force should they create it could be on a separate resolution because that would be a different title and a different discussion. And so I'm happy to pursue that. The other thing was that we discussed taking actions at county level like we did in committee. I think the committee members did a good job at during deliberation in figuring out some potential solutions already. I think we can model how these changes can look for the state when they consider creating this task force that's necessary for the Pai'aina. Mahalo, Chair.
Thank you. Anyone else to add anything? Discussion? If not, we're now voting on the main motion. All those in favor, raise your hand, say aye. 7 ayes, 0 noes, 2 excused, motion carries. Ms. Clerk.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Before you is Resolution 24-195, authorizing acceptance of the donation of Ulukai footwear to the Department of Fire and Public Safety, Ocean Safety Division pursuant to Chapter 3.56 Maui County Code.
Member Hodgins.
Thank you, and I apologize in advance because you guys are going to hear me a lot today. I move to waive the requirement of committee referral and report for Resolution 24-195 under Rule 7G of Rules of the Council.
Second.
Moved by Member Hodgins, seconded by Vice Chair Sugimura, to approve the Resolution 24-195.
It's the 7G motion, Chair.
7G.
Oh, 7G, oh, I'm sorry. Just as on the waiver.
Yes.
Any discussion, Member Rollins, Hodgins?
Thank you. This resolution approves the donation to the Department of Fire and Public Safety, so committee referral and discussion may not be necessary.
Okay, but any more discussion? If not, all those in favor of the waiver, raise your hand, say aye. 7 ayes, 2 excused, motion carries. Member Hodgins again.
Thank you, Chair. I move to adopt Resolution 24-195.
Moved by Member Hodgins, seconded by Member Cook to adopt Resolution 24-195. Discussion, Member Hodgins.
Thank you. Members, this resolution authorizes the acceptance of 294 pairs of Ulukai footwear to the Department of Fire and Public Safety's Ocean Safety Officers, totaling $42,680. Ulukai has repeatedly expressed their goodwill to the county by donating footwear over the past several years, and at this time, I ask for the members' support of my motion. Thank you, Chair.
Any more discussion? All those in favor of the motion, please raise your hand, say aye.
Aye.
All right, 7 ayes, 2 excused, motion carries. Ms. Clerk.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Before you is Resolution 24-196, appointment of a member to the Affirmative Action Advisory Council for the County of Maui.
Member Hodgins.
Thank you again, Chair. I move to waive the requirement of committee referral and report to Resolution 24-196 under Rule 7G of Rules of the Council.
Second.
Moved by Member Hodgins, seconded by Vice Chair Sugimura to waive Rule 7G. Discussion, Member Hodgins.
Thank you, Chair. Approval of my motion will enable us to consider this resolution today so we can expeditiously fill this board and commission seat.
Any more discussion? All those in favor of the waiver, raise your hand, say aye. 7 ayes, 2 excused, motion carries. Member Hodgins.
Thank you, Chair. I move to adopt Resolution 24-196.
Moved by Member Hodgins, seconded by Vice Chair Sugimura to adopt Resolution 24-196. Discussion, Member Hodgins.
Thank you again, Chair. I move to amend Resolution 24-196 by placing Gabriela Rodriguez on Exhibit B for approval to the Affirmative Action Advisory Council.
Any more? Seconded by Member Cook. Discussion, Member Hodgins.
Thank you. Ms. Rodriguez is a passionate advocate for the rights and well-beings of individuals. She works as a program coordinator at What Makes You Feel Beautiful, an organization which strives to foster self-love and empowerment for girls and women from economically marginalized backgrounds in the county. In her application, Ms. Rodriguez cited that her experience in law, public speaking, child development, and legal writing could provide a versatile skill set which will be a valuable asset to the Advisory Council. I would like to thank Ms. Rodriguez for her willingness to serve and her interest to serve on this particular board. At this time, I ask for the members' support of my motion.
What an interesting occupation.
Right?
Yeah. Any more discussion? All those in favor of the motion, please raise your hand, say aye.
Aye.
7 ayes, 2 excused, motion carries.
Chair, we're not able to see Member Kama.
Oh, I'm sorry. Member Kama, are you online? Okay, let's take that vote again. All those in favor of the motion, raise your hand and say aye. Member Kama. So 6 ayes, 3 excused, motion carries. Ms. Clerk.
Chair, before you is Resolution 24-197, authorizing the acquisition of real property consisting of 272.956 acres, identified as tax map key number 223-001-023, situated at Kula, Maui, Hawaii, for an amount not to exceed $14 million.
Vice Vice Chair Sugimura.
Thank you, Chair. I move to waive the requirement of committee referral and report under Rule 7G of the Rules of the Council as it relates to Resolution 24-197.
Moved by Member, Vice Chair Sugimura, seconded by Member Cook to waive Rule 7G. Discussion, Vice Chair Sugimura.
Thank you. This resolution relates to Bills 166 CD1 and 167 CD1 2024, posted for second and final reading on today's agenda. Because we will be considering those today, we should consider this as well. This is regarding the Von Temsky property. I move to adopt Resolution 24-197.
Well, I think we're on the waiver, huh? Did we do the waiver yet?
This is on the waiver.
Just on the waiver? Any more discussion on that? All those in favor of that, raise your hand, say aye. So, looks like we have 6 ayes, 3 excused, motion carries. Vice Chair Sugimura?
Yeah, I think I read for the motion. Anyway, I read that part, and so I move to adopt Resolution 24-197.
Moved by Vice Chair Sugimura, seconded by Member Hodgins to adopt Resolution 24-197. Discussion, Vice Chair Sugimura.
Members, this resolution will authorize the mayor to acquire the Von Temsky Kula property. The acquisition will also be recognized in the fiscal year 25 budget through the 2 bills I mentioned earlier. The managing director provided an appraisal report with the resolution, which can be viewed with the transmittal on Granicus. I respectfully ask for the members' support of my motion. Good job, administration.
Well, I was going to ask a question, Vice Chair Sugimura. Where is this 14 million coming from again?
I don't know if it's carryover savings. I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
we seem to have the most carryover savings in the whole world.
We can ask Ms. Milner.
Yeah, we need to ask Ms. Milner because, funny, we always have carryover savings.
So that's why we need to look at A account. Yep.
It's amazing, it's just totally, totally amazing. You folks realize when they say carryover savings that something else is not being paid? Oh, okay, just so everybody gets that.
Or the budget is overestimated.
Come on. Overestimated. I doubt it very much. We've had how many bills come through?
A lot.
A lot of bills come through to pay from carryover savings. That's an incredible amount.
And I could be wrong on that.
All right, all those in favor of the motion, raise your hand, say aye. 6 ayes. 2, 4, 6 ayes, 3 excused, motion carries.
Chair, if we could just go back, I'm so sorry, and we need to clean up the vote on Resolution 24-196. We did the 7G, we did the amendment, there was a motion. I think we need to go back to the main motion. I don't have it down yet. And Heather does my staff is being voted on.
Oh, I thought we did because I mentioned, what a interesting occupation. This is on the nominee?
Yes.
Okay, so you want us to vote on the main motion again?
Yes, please.
Okay. All those in favor of the motion regarding Resolution 24-196, the approval of the Resolution 24-196, raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
Okay, so 6 ayes, 3 excused, motion carries.
And Chair, I have down the maker of the motion was Member Hodgins, and the seconder was Member Rollins Fernandez. Is that right?
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Okay.
Sure, I'll take it.
Thank you.
She was making a lot of the seconds, but I don't recall, actually, if she did it that time.
I voted in favor, and I appreciate her serving the county in this way.
Okay.
Chair, before you is Resolution 24-198, authorizing a grant of lease of county road property to Nahale Kupuna Lessee, 160 Keonekai Road, Unit 13-101, Kihei.
Vice Chair Sugimura.
Chair, if there are no objections, may I please request the clerk to also call resolutions 24-199 through 24-202. 5 total.
24-202.
Yeah. Thank you.
No objections, members? No objections?
No objections.
All right, Ms. Clerk.
Chair, before you is Resolution 24-199, authorizing a grant of lease of county road property to Nahale Kupuna Lessee, 3750 Lower Honoapi Ilani Road, Unit 304, Lahaina. Resolution 24-200, authorizing a grant of lease of county road property to Nahale Kupuna Lessee, 3740 Lower Honoapi Ilani Highway, Unit B202, Lahaina. And Resolution 24-201, authorizing a grant of lease of county road property to Nahale Kupuna Lessee, 3740 Lower Honoapi Ilani Highway, Unit C206, Lahaina. And Resolution 24-202, authorizing a grant of lease of county road property to Nahale Kupuna Lessee, 3740 Lower Honoapi Ilani Highway, Unit D105, Lahaina.
Vice Chair Sugimura.
I move to waive the requirement of committee referral and report under Rule 7G of the Rules of the Council as it relates to resolutions 24-198 through 24-202.
Okay, moved by Vice Chair Sugimura, seconded by Member Ubu-Hodgins to waive Rule 7G for resolutions 198 through 202.
Yeah.
Discussion, Vice Chair Sugimura.
For this motion, people are preparing to move into the units referenced in these resolutions.
On the rule.
On the motion. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. 7G.
Okay.
Action today will allow these people to move in sooner. Thank you, Chair.
All right. Any more discussion? All those in favor of the motion, raise your hand, say aye. This is only on the waiver.
Yeah.
So 6 ayes, 3 excused, motion carries. Ms. Clerk, I don't have to, you're keeping track of the excused,
Yes,
right?
Chair.
All right, Vice Chair Sugimura, on the main motion.
I move to adopt resolutions 24-198 through 24-202.
Okay, moved by Vice Chair Sugimura, seconded by Member Ubu-Hodgins to adopt the resolutions 198 through 202. Discussion, Vice Chair Sugimura.
Thank you, Chair. Members, these 5 resolutions authorize leases of properties purchased by CDBG for its Nahale Kupuna. We approved several of these units during this last term, and once these resolutions are adopted, 5 of these units will be finally occupied. CDBG hopes to fill the remaining units in the coming months. I respectfully ask for the members' support of this motion.
Any more discussion? Yes, Member Rollins Fernandez.
Mahalo, Chair. I rise in full support of the motion to adopt the 5 resolutions, and I just want to thank CDBG, Ms. Kuhula, for getting these to us as quickly as possible. Mahalo, Chair.
Any more discussion? Vice Chair Sugimura.
So I do. I really want Corporation Council maybe to explain why we're taking up these leases the way that we are. I think as a body, we often do these kinds of documents, not onesies, twosies, but really to like an organization like the Cameron Center or an organization like Nahale Omaui or whoever, Hale Mahaolu. So could I ask Corporation Council?
Corporation Council?
Thank you, Chair. So Maui County Code 3.36090 requires council approval of any leasing of anything owned by the county. As these projects develop, if more of these units are purchased by the county, there might be some movement, hopefully, to make some provision in the ordinance or that doesn't require this for residential units, but that would be up to the will of this body whether or not you would want to review all of these or not. But that's essentially why they're here today. Thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. I have one more. So in the transmittal letter that we did get from the mayor's office, it states for each one of them that in the interest of time, resolutions are attached for your review. Additional program details will be provided at council chambers. So what could that be?
Are you asking Corporation Council?
The letter came from the mayor, but, and it's CDBG. This letter is from CDBG, so not necessarily.
Chair,
Yes.
Ms. Kahula is present if any of the members had questions.
Is that what it
Otherwise, yeah, but she's here today to answer any questions if
You want her to answer that question?
I just, it sounds like they want to tell us more. So if they want to tell us more, I wanted to do it before we voted.
Member Rollins Fernandez.
Mahalo Chair, in the reso is the entire lease agreement and all the details of the program with the lease itself with the lessee, with the names and the rent redacted so that it's not made public. So I think this is a lot of details. I don't need any additional details.
Okay? As long as the members are okay, because of what the letter said, I thought we should get what we need to get, but we're fine.
And then Chair,
Yes.
to the first question, it's because the county is leasing directly instead of granting to or working with a nonprofit, and then the nonprofit doing the leases on behalf of the county. So that's why we're taking up onesie-twosies, as you said.
Okay,
Mahalo, Chair.
Ms. Kahula, did you want to add anything? You don't have to, but do you want to add anything? Okay.
Okay, we're fine. I thought they had maybe more to share.
All right. Oh, we were in the middle of voting, right?
Yeah, no.
All those in favor, raise your hand, say aye.
Aye.
So 6 ayes, 3 excused, motion carries. Okay, that takes us up to 24-203.
Yes.
Chair, before you is Resolution 24-203, urging the Hawaii State Legislature to establish universal free school meals program for students at public schools.
Member Rollins Fernandez.
Mahalo Chair, I move to adopt Resolution 24-203.
Okay, moved by Member Rollins Fernandez, seconded by Member Cook to adopt Resolution 24-203. Discussion, Member Rollins Fernandez.
Mahalo Chair, I believe this resolution is a no-brainer. This initiative addresses the critical issue of food insecurity, ensures all students access to healthy meals, and boosts academic performance and well-being for children in Maui County and Hawaii. I ask for the members' full support of this. Mahalo Chair.
Okay, any further discussion? If not,
Thank you. I appreciate the intent of this resolution, and I'm going to be voting no because the DOE system, I did research on this, and DOE system already has free and reduced lunch programs and designated schools that are eligible, and application forms so that any person can apply for it. So I don't believe that this is needed. I do know that during COVID, we did have free lunch for everybody, but it was because of the unique situation. And so in this case, because it is provided, funding is provided through federal funding through the state to provide meals, I think it's not needed. I'm going to be voting no.
Member Rollins Fernandez.
Mahalo Chair, and everyone is entitled to their opinion, but since research had been done, it sounds like some of the research that wasn't included is some of the information that I received at the Transforming Food Systems Summit that I attended last week, where a high school student shared with us the story of how her classmate attends, and I won't say what school it is, but they do the practice of basically shaming students for having a bill, for having an unpaid bill for food. And that kind of thing happens in our state. I didn't think it did, but there was a high school student sharing that it was. And I believe that if we're gonna be supporting our Kiki and our Opio, that food is the minimum that we can provide for all students and not just those that may indicate that there's a financial need for it because of the practice that affects these students. I think it's wrong, but you know, the DOE allows that to happen. And so that's one of the reasons that I am that I introduce this resolution. Mahalo, Chair.
All right. For my discussion, I do have some reservations about the cost of this, but I know that the intent is good, and just worried about the cost. Everybody ready to vote? Roll call.
Hand. Chair,
Oh,
Member
where?
Paulton is on the screen. Hi.
Hey, it's a small world after all. Hello, Member Paulton.
Oh, look at that. What are you standing in?
Are you
front of?
going to vote on this one? Is that why you jumped on?
I'd like to vote yes for the kids.
Okay.
Oh, there's her kids.
Oh, very good. And then let's have the rest of the roll call.
Thank you. Councilmember Pro Tempore Tasha Kama,
Excused.
Vice Chair Sugimura,
No.
Councilmember Paulton,
She said yes.
Councilmember Johnson.
Wait.
Yes, please.
Say yes again, please. Can you say yes again?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Councilmember Johnson,
Excused.
Councilmember Rollins Fernandez,
Aye for Keiki.
Councilmember Cook,
Aye.
Councilmember Hodgins,
Aye.
Councilmember Senensi,
Aye.
Council Chair Lee.
Aye.
Chair, there are 6 ayes, 1 no, 2 excused. Motion carries.
Okay, thank you. So are you going to stay with us, Member Paulton, the rest of the way?
I guess until it's turn to take a ride.
God. Okay, priorities. Wait, almost. Okay, let's take the ordinances. Are we done with resos?
Yes.
Okay, let's take ordinances and then skip over to, where's the vaping one? Bill 156. Oh, that's second and final, okay. But we can still skip over to the ordinances are all ordinances. Ms. Clerk.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Currently, we have no one signed up to testify on the ordinances in Section M, so we'll go ahead and give last call. If you wish to testify, please raise your hand in Teams or make your way to the podium. Chair seeing no one. Count down 3, 2, 1. Chair, there's no one to testify on the ordinances in Section M.
Members, any objections to closing public testimony on ordinances and accepting written testimony?
No objections.
No objections.
So any objections to taking up Bill 156, CD1?
No objections.
No objection.
Okay, Ms. Clerk.
Thank you, Chair. Before you is Bill 156, CD1, 2024, a bill for an ordinance amending Title 8 Maui County Code to prohibit retailers from selling or marketing flavored tobacco products and mislabeling products as nicotine-free.
Mr. Senensi.
Thank you, Chair. I move to pass Bill 156, CD1, 2024 on second and final reading.
Moved by Member Senensi, seconded by Member Cook to pass Bill 156, CD1, 2024 on second and final reading. Discussion, Mr. Senensi.
Thank you, Chair. Bill 156 will ban flavored tobacco products and take effect 42 days after the day on which Section 328J-11.5B of Hawaii Revised Statutes or any other state statute preempting county ordinances on the sale of tobacco products is repealed. Members, the County of Hawaii and the City and County of Honolulu have already introduced similar legislation in response to the youth vaping epidemic. Chair, mahalo to all the testifiers and testimony in support of this bill, and I respectfully ask for the members' support of my motion.
Thank you. Any more discussion? If not, Member Cook.
Thank you, Chair. After this was brought up, I went to 2 or 3 different, service stations and convenience stores, and I was shocked because I normally don't pay attention to it, exactly how intense and broad the advertising for these products are, and how I hear all the testifiers, especially the youth, and this is an opportunity for us to let them know that their voices are heard, and we're going to act on it. Thank you.
Thank you. Any more discussion? Member Rollins Fernandez.
Mahalo, Chair. I will be voting aye again in full support of this resolution, and I wanted to mahalo the students and the representative that's with us today and for staying with us, and hopefully it was a good lesson in civic education. It's important to make sure that your voices are included to educate us on these types of products that are harmful to your classmates and to the next generations. And also, you know, if matters like having free school lunch is important to ensure that your voice is included then, because as you see, not all policymakers may agree with that position. Mahalo, Chair.
Thank you. Vice Chair Sugimura.
Thank you. I want to mahalo Member Senensi for bringing this up, because it kind of came up really fast as we were the ending of all of our committee meetings, and he prioritized this. So we were in the planning, how long ago was the Planning Commission meeting space. So thank you very much, and thank you, Leslie, with all your force and interest to bring this forward. So thank you.
Any more discussion? How about you, Member Paulton? You want to say anything?
No, anything for the kids.
Okay, very good. All those in favor of the motion, raise your hand, say aye.
Aye.
All right, we have 7 ayes, 2 excused. Oh, no, 6 ayes. Oh, 8 ayes.
Yeah, 8 ayes.
Okay, we see your hand, Pro Tem Kama. No, we're still missing Member
Only
Johnson.
Member Johnson.
Okay, 8 ayes, 1 excused, Member Johnson, and motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Very good. Good job, students. Very good. You did an excellent job of advocacy. Thank you. So now we are going to take a short break and come back. Yes?
Can we just finish it? Or is it going to take too long?
Well, we have 1 asking for a break and 1 asking for not.
Okay.
Yeah, I want a break too.
Okay, 10 minutes, 11:36, and then we'll come back and go right through the rest of it. Meeting in recess. Will the meeting of December 23rd, 2024, Maui County Council please reconvene? Ms. Clerk.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Returning to ordinances for first reading before you is Bill 158, 2024, a bill for an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into an intergovernmental agreement with the County of Kauai for forensic testing services between the Kauai Police Department and the Maui Police Department.
Member Hodgins.
Thank you, Chair. I move to discharge the Disaster Resilience, International Affairs, and Planning Committee from further consideration of Bill 158, 2024 under Rule 5E of Rules of the Council.
Second.
Moved by Member Hodgins, seconded by Member Sinensi, to discharge the DRIP Committee under Rule 5 and refer to the next term. Discussion, Member Hodgins.
Thank you, Chair. The Department of Police notified committee staff that this matter is not time sensitive. If my motion is approved, I will recommend consideration of referral to the next council term.
Any more discussion? If not, all those in favor of the discharge, raise your hand, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Is Member Paulton still on? Okay, but now we have 7 ayes, 2 excused, and a motion carries. Member Hodgins.
Thank you. I move to refer Bill 158, 2024 to the council chair for the term beginning January 2nd, 2025.
Second.
Moved by Member Hodgins, seconded by Member Sinensi, to refer this item to the next term. Council Chair. And discussion. Member Hodgins.
Thank you, Chair. I have no further discussion. I ask for the members' support of my motion. Thank you.
Any more discussion? If not, all those in favor of the motion, please raise your hand, say aye. 7 ayes, 2 excused, motion carries. Ms. Clerk.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Before you is Bill 187, 2024, a bill for an ordinance amending the fiscal year 2025 budget for the County of Maui, Appendix A, Part 2, Homeowner Programs Revolving Fund Ohana Assistance Program.
Vice Chair Sugimura.
Thank you. If there are no objections, may I please request the clerk also call Bill 18924.
Any objections, members?
No objections.
So ordered.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Bill 189, 2024, a bill for an ordinance amending the fiscal year 2025 budget for the County of Maui, Appendix A, Part 1, Department of Fire and Public Safety, State of Hawaii, Department of Transportation, Highway Safety Grants.
Vice Chair Sugimura.
I move to waive the requirement of committee referral report under Rule 7G of the Rules of the Council as it relates to Bill 187 and 189, 2024.
Moved by Vice Chair Sugimura, seconded by Member Hodgins, to waive the rule of the council, 7G, with regard to Bill 187 and 189. Discussion, Vice Chair Sugimura.
We already discussed Bill 187 in BFED committee last week, and 189 concerns a grant already included in the fiscal year 25 budget. Therefore, we may not need to wait until next term to act on these items. Thank you, Chair.
Any more discussion? So, okay. I think we did take action on the waiver.
Okay.
Didn't we?
We vote? I don't think
Not
so.
yet. Okay, all those in favor of the waiver, raise your hand, say aye. 7 ayes, 2 excused, motion carries. Vice Chair Sugimura.
I move to pass Bills 187, 2024, and 189, 2024 on first reading.
Okay, moved by Vice Chair Sugimura, seconded by Member Cook, to pass Bills 187 and 189 on first reading. Discussion, Vice Chair Sugimura.
As discussed in the BFED committee meeting last week, Bill 187 will appropriate funds for the Ohana Assistance Program, and Bill 189 will increase the appropriations for the Department of Fire, Public Safety, of Hawaii Department of Transportation Highway Safety Grants by $81,798. The new total is $201,798. I respectfully ask for the members' support of this motion.
Okay, any more discussion? If not, all those in favor of the motion, raise your hand, say aye. 7 ayes, 2 excused, motion carries.
Thank you,
Ms.
members.
Clerk.
Chair, before you is Bill 188, 2024, a bill for an ordinance amending the fiscal year 2025 budget for the County of Maui, Appendix A, Part 2, Managed Retreat Revolving Fund, Paia Montokuchi Mission.
Member Hodgins.
Thank you, Chair. I move to waive the requirement of committee referral and report for Bill 188, 2024, under Rule 7G of Rules of the Council.
Second.
Moved by Member Hodgins, seconded by Vice Chair Sugimura to waive Rule 7G with regard to this item. Member Hodgins, discussion.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you all. Shoreline erosion has exposed a fuel pipe in Montokuji Bay and is at risk of rupturing and potentially polluting the ocean, requiring expeditious action. The waiver will allow us to take action today. Thanks, Chair.
Any more discussion? I just have a question. Who owns the fuel pipe?
The church.
The church?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Vice Chair Sugimura.
Can I ask a similar question? Or
Sure, go ahead.
Is it an active fuel pipe?
I don't believe they do any cremations anymore, but it's an older one with attached to a fuel tank as well.
Wow.
Okay. All those in favor of the motion, raise your hand, say aye.
Aye.
7 ayes, 2 excused, motion carries. All right. Member Hodgins.
Thank you, Chair. I move to pass Bill 188, 124 on first reading.
Second.
Moved by Member Hodgins, seconded by Member Senensi to pass Bill 184, did you say?
188.
188 on first reading. Any more discussion? We do have the Mr. Foley on the line as well. Mr. Cook.
Chair, that was my question, whether during discussion we could ask Mr. Foley a question.
Yes.
Dr. Foley, what's the long-term prognosis from your study? What's envisioned for that area with the extent of the erosion?
Aloha, Councilmember Cook. Thank you for the question. Mike Foley here, coastal engineer with Oceanet. As I said before, I've been working with Montokuji since 2018, looking at their shoreline erosion hazards and adaptation options. We studied a bunch of different options, and including retreat and beach restoration, shoreline armoring as alternatives. What we're currently pursuing what the mission is currently pursuing is ecosystem restoration, living shorelines, basically designed by nature, restoring a lot of the beach sand that has been mined since the 1930s, in addition to looking at the feasibility of restoring the reef itself as a critical component of the coastal protection. These are ambitious projects, take time to permit and execute in terms of our regulatory process and the multiple issues. So long-term prognosis is yeah, we can restore this environment. You know, this is a nice cove formation within Paia, within its geology. There really is no benefit to just allowing the erosion to go uncontrolled. Soil continues to fall in the ocean along with cultural resources, and that's all polluting the reef and polluting the environment for the turtles that enjoy this bay on a daily basis. But, you know, because it does take time, that's why this measure is so important to pass today. Because, you know, there is a risk of this fuel pipe rupturing and draining whatever residual fuel is left over into this sensitive environment. We did have significant waves this past weekend, which overtopped the shoreline and caused damage, actually flooded the property and left a bunch of debris right at the entrance to the church. So it is a very active situation and a pending disaster waiting to happen. So I hope that answered your question, but I'm happy to provide any more information.
It did answer my question. I'm curious as far as like the revitalization of the reef, would that basically help mitigate the erosion?
Yes, it would, absolutely. You know, the fringing reef system is our first line of defense in Hawaii against coastal forces. And, as the water quality has declined in recent decades, and we've experienced a lot of nutrient runoff from the sugarcane fields, just Mauka of Montecuji, led to a lot of nutrients, a lot of algae blooms, which causes an imbalance in the ecosystem and leads to coral declines. That water quality issue coupled with the erosion forces actually degrades the reef structure itself, which in time leads to bigger shore break, impacting the bay and causing further erosion and loss of soils. So it is an emerging field in terms of coastal engineering, that we can restore these reef ecosystems through structure itself, adding back structure. And so that's what we're looking to develop a environmental document for and construction plans for in the future. So we're currently working on funding and leadership strategies for that type of mitigation in this bay.
Thank you
and it's
very
definitely
much.
an active
Thank
issue.
you very much for your answer. Thank you, Chair. I won't talk about it all day. We'll talk about it later. Thank you.
Okay, why is Member Rollins Fernandez giving you the evil eye? Did you have your hand up? Member Rollins Fernandez?
Mahalo, Chair. I'm glad you noticed the evil eye. I gotta go to the airport. But no, I'm just kidding. There was no evil eyes. Mahalo, Mr. Foley, for staying on and serving as a resource for the council. I just wanted to flag for you, I'm sure you know, but in case you don't, that the way that you frame and talk about nature is a very man versus nature type of framing. The word selection and I guess for me, and it frames it as nature as the problem, but really it's humans. Humans are the problem. Embracing nature and being one, with our environment instead of fighting it is probably, we'd be better off doing. Mahalo. Mahalo, Chair.
Words of wisdom?
I try.
Okay. Did I see your hand up? Member Hodgins.
Thank you. I just wanted to provide some clarity on what we're discussing today and this bill. So the Paia Montecuji Mission is requesting funding to plan, permit, and construct a fuel hazard tank mitigation project. Due to shoreline erosion, a crematory was destroyed and a metal fuel pipe that was a part of the structure is now exposed. The bill conditions $500,000 under the Managed Retreat Revolving Fund to be used for site investigations, permit applications, document preparation, and construction. Please note that the Managed Retreat Revolving Fund authorizes the funding for shoreline safety improvements, including mitigation or removal of hazardous conditions due to shoreline erosion, as well as the removal or relocation of structures or infrastructure that poses a threat to public safety or the safety of the environment. I do have an amendment that I will discuss later, but I want to say that the county used to mine sand from this beach. And I don't disagree with Member Rollins Fernandez that it's not, man versus nature. But when man took from nature, exposing all of what is now exposed, I think we have a duty to try to fix what we ruined a little bit. Paia Bay, that bay rather, was beautiful and huge. I saw photos of it. And of course it's in my backyard. But what we see now is no longer. There's no sand. As of yesterday, the waves were crashing into graves, hundreds of graves. And so I ask and I beg for you guys to support this project and all the stuff I will continue to ask for this church in advance. Thank you.
Member Rollins Fernandez.
Mahalo, Chair, and mahalo, Member Hodgins. I hope that we take note of this situation and recognize this as we rebuild other areas along the shoreline, that the shoreline should not be built right up against. Mahalo, Chair.
Okay, just a quick question to Member Hodgins. Is this the one right across Paia Community Center?
It is, Chair.
Oh, okay. Okay, are you ready to vote, everybody?
Before we do, though, at this time, can I move to amend Bill 188 by deleting Paia Montecuji Mission and inserting Montecuji Mission of Paia comma, Maui in its place.
Second.
Okay,
So
now
we can
all
recognize the
this
separation
talking,
between church
I
and
lost
state.
track. Didn't we took the vote on the waiver,
Yes, we did.
and then you need to do the first motion. Did you do that?
Yes, we did.
Okay, so now we add an amendment.
Yes.
Okay, everybody ready? Any discussion on the amendment? All those in favor of the amendment, raise your hand, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. 7 ayes, 2 excused, motion carries. Now, Member Hodgins?
I just would like to thank all you guys for your support and hopefully your continued support regarding this church and Paia Town. Thank you.
Okay, yes. Vice Chair Sugimura?
I'd like to strongly support this. Thank you very much, Member Hodgins, for doing it. I know family members that live along this bay, past the Montakuchi Mission Temple, but it is a very bad problem. Classmates that I grew up with that live along the bay now is really close to their house. I mean, the edge of the bay is really close to their house, so this is like a growing problem. I do know that the big ask is 15 million. They were hoping to get from FEMA funds, but it's not on that priority for right now because it's for West Maui. But we do have a big ask for them because it's impacting residents besides Paia Montakuchi. So thank you very much for bringing this. I didn't realize there's a gas tank situation that sounds pretty serious. So thank you very much, Member Hodgins, and thank you, Dr. Foley, for hanging out with us and always being there. Thank you.
Anybody else? So the main motion as amended? Are we at that stage?
Yeah.
Do you have this? Oh, you to vote. Okay. All right. All those in favor, say aye.
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 7 ayes, 2 excused, motion carries.
Yay.
Very good. Ms. Clerk?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Moving back to the ordinances for a second and final reading before you is Bill 69, CD1, 2023, a bill for an ordinance amending sections 3.44.015 and 388.070 Maui County Code relating to acceptance of conservation easements.
Vice Chair Sugimura.
Oops. If there are no objections, may I please request the clerk also call bills 166 CD1, Bill 167 CD1, Bill 183 FD1, and Bill 186 2024.
Any objections?
No objections.
All right.
Okay. Bill 166, CD1, bill for an ordinance amending the fiscal year 2025 budget for the County of Maui, estimated revenues, Department of Management, Office of Recovery Program, Capital Improvement Projects, Department of Management, and Appendix C, Department of Management. Bill 167, CD1, 2024, bill for an ordinance amending ordinance number 5659, bill number 62, CD1, 2024, relating to the issuance of general obligation bonds for the County of Maui, issuance, sale, and delivery of said bonds, Department of Management. Bill 183, FD1, 2024, bill for an ordinance authorizing the mayor of the County of Maui to enter into an intergovernmental agreement with the Office of the Auditor, State of Hawaii, to audit the schedule of allocations of the employees' retirement system of the State of Hawaii to meet the reporting requirements under Governmental Accounting Standards, Board Statement Number 68. And Bill 186, 2024, bill for an ordinance amending the fiscal year 2025 budget for the County of Maui, Department of Environmental Management, Environmental Protection and Sustainability Program, Environmental Protection and Sustainability Fund, Environmental Protection Grants, Pili Koko.
Vice Chair Sugimura.
I move to pass bills 69 CD1 2023, Bill 166 CD1 2024, Bill 167 CD1 2024, Bill 183 FD1 2024, and Bill 186 2024 on second and final reading.
Moved by Vice Chair Sugimura, seconded by Member Hodgins, to pass Bill 69, 166, 167, 183, and 186 on second and final reading. Discussion, Vice Chair Sugimura.
I guess that's my discussion. There's basically, you read up all the bills. I've moved to pass. We already discussed it, second and final. So
Okay.
take the vote.
Any more discussion? All those in favor of the motion, raise your hand, say aye. Okay, 7 ayes, 2 excused, motion carries. Ms. Clerk?
Chair, before you is Bill 29, CD1 2024, a bill for an ordinance to amend the state land use district classification from agricultural district to urban district, conditional district boundary amendment for property situated at Kihei, Maui, Hawaii, portion of tax map key 239001034.
Pro Tem Kama.
Chair, may I ask the clerk, or may you ask the clerk to call up Bill 30 CD1, please, FD1?
Ms. Clerk, could you also call up Bill 30, CD1, FD1, 2024?
Yes, Chair. Before you is Bill 30, CD1, FD1, 2024, a bill for an ordinance to change zoning from County Rural District to M1 Light Industrial District, conditional zoning for property situated at Kihei, Maui, Hawaii, portion of tax map key 239001034.
Pro Tem Kama.
I move to pass Bill 29 CD1 2024 and Bill 30 CD1 2024 on second and final reading.
Second.
Moved by Pro Tem Kama, seconded by Member Cook, to pass Bills 29 CD1 2024 and Bill 30 CD1 FD1 2024 on second and final reading. Discussion. Pro Tem Kama.
Members, these two bills will allow for the development of the Ohukai Light Industrial Park to proceed. The county clerk's office has confirmed that the unilateral agreement have been recorded. I ask for your support on my motion. Thank you, Chair.
Any more discussion, folks? Member Cook.
This is going to affect the South Maui community in a very positive way and to create light industrial area and minimize a lot of traffic that's currently coming from the Central Valley. So I ask for and encourage our members' support.
Okay, any more discussion? All those in favor of the motion, raise your hand, say aye.
Aye.
Pro Tem Kama. 7 ayes, 2 excused, motion carries. Ms. Clerk?
Chair, before you is Bill 135 CD1 2024, a bill for an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into an intergovernmental agreement with the United States Army Corps of Engineers for technical services.
Member Cook.
I move to pass Bill 135 CD1 2024 on second and final reading.
Moved by Member Cook, seconded by Member Hodgins, to pass Bill 135 CD1 2024 on second and final reading. Discussion. Member Cook.
Thank you, Chair. This agreement will grant the Department of Public Works access to the United States Army Corps of Engineers Interagency and International Services Program that would fast-track federally sponsored civil construction projects. I respectfully ask for the members' support of my motion.
Any more discussion? If not, all those in favor of the motion, raise your hand, say aye.
Aye.
7 ayes, 0 noes, 2 excused, motion carries. Ms. Clerk?
Chair, before you is Bill the 136 CD1 FD1 2024, a bill for an ordinance amending Title 20 Maui County Code establishing a climate action and resiliency plan for the County of Maui.
Member Rollins Fernandez.
Mahalo, Chair. I move to pass Bill 136 CD1 FD1 on second and final reading.
Second.
Moved by Member Rollins Fernandez, seconded by Member Senesi, to pass Bill 136 CD1 FD1 2024 on second and final reading. Discussion. Member Rollins Fernandez.
Mahalo, Chair. Bill 136 establishes the Climate Action and Resiliency Plan that we affectionately call CARP. The CARP is the first comprehensive strategic strategy for mitigating and adapting the climate change in Maui County. It identifies mitigation and resiliency strategies and supporting actions to prepare for and strengthen resilience to potential climate effects. Councilmember Paulton in the previous during first reading asked about the portions that were translated in Maka'olelo, Hawaii, and the exhibit that was in the first reading and today both have those portions, and it's the executive summary and the guiding principles that you'll see in Olelo, Hawaii. And I move to amend section 20.44.050D by striking the word monthly and replacing it with quarterly. So it will read, 20.44.050, plan implementation updates, online dashboard and reporting. D, an online dashboard must track the progress of the plan's specific recommendations. By December 31st, 2025, the online dashboard must be accessible from the county's website upon approval of the plan and must be updated on a quarterly basis. And to suspend Rule 19C of the Rules of the Council so that we can take action today.
Okay.
I need a second.
Yeah. Moved by Member Rollins Fernandez, seconded by Member Hodgins to amend the wording from monthly to quarterly and to waive, is it waive?
Suspend
19C. Okay, more discussion, anyone? Member Rollins Fernandez.
This section was amended on the floor by myself, and I invited the administration to review, confer, and advise me on any edits that they would like, those amendments and first reading. The only amendment they requested was this one, changing monthly to quarterly. Mahalo, Chair.
Any more discussion? All those in favor of the motion, raise your hand, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. 7 ayes, 2 excused, motion carries. Motion is amended. Any more discussion? Anyone? All those in favor, raise your hand, say aye.
Aye.
7 ayes, 2 excused, motion carries. Ms. Clark.
Chair, before you is Bill 154, 2024, a bill for an ordinance amending ordinance number 5334, 2021, the West Maui Community Plan relating to the area between Front Street and Honua Pi'ilani Highway from Kahoma Stream to Kainui Street.
Pro Tem Kama.
I think this is Member Paulton's bill.
Okay. Member Paulton is not here, so who wants to do it? Anybody?
I don't have this in my notes, but I can say I move to pass Bill 154 on second and final reading.
Second.
Okay, moved by Member U'uhajin, seconded by Vice Chair Sugimura to pass Bill 154 on second and final reading. Member U'uhajin for discussion.
Thank you all. That's my discussion.
Oh, okay, very good. Anybody else? All those in favor? Discussion.
Yeah, I just want to thank the clerk's office for having the community meeting in West Maui. They had got all set up from 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and it was resounding support, I guess, by only having 2 testifiers. One was talking about the SMA, the other one, I don't remember, couldn't hear because it was online, was very quiet or very soft. But thank you very much. I guess that means, you know, the community supports this amendment to the West Maui Community Plan.
Anybody else? All those in favor of the motion, raise your hand, say aye. 7 ayes, 2 excused, motion carries.
Yay.
Ms. Clark.
Chair, before you is Bill 157, CD1, 2024, a bill for an ordinance amending Title 14, Maui County Code to establish regulations on stormwater discharge and pollution controls.
Member Cook.
I move to pass Bill 157, CD1, 2024 on second and final reading.
Moved by Member Cook, seconded by Vice Chair Sugimura to pass Bill 157, CD1, 2024 on second and final reading. Discussion, Member Cook.
Thank you, Chair. This bill will prohibit activities that may pollute stormwater discharges and help to protect receiving water bodies from untreated discharges. I respectfully ask for member support for my motion.
Any more discussion? If not, all those in favor of the motion, please raise your hand, say aye.
Aye.
7 ayes, 2 excused, motion carries. All right. Ms. Clerk.
Chair, before you is Bill 184, 2024, a bill for an ordinance amending Chapter 3.36 Maui County Code relating to grants.
Vice Chair Sugimura.
I move to pass Bill 184, 2024 on second and final reading.
Moved by Vice Chair Sugimura, seconded by Member Cook to pass Bill 184 on second and final reading. Discussion. Vice Chair Sugimura.
We discussed this bill at our last week's BFED meeting. where we received further information from the Department of Housing on the need for this bill. I do have an ASF, which you all just received, referencing I first moved to substitute Bill 184, 2024 with the proposed FD1 version attached to my ASF. Second.
Yeah, I know. Second? Okay, moved by Vice Chair Sugimura, seconded by Member Hodgins to pass Bill 184 on second and final reading.
Yeah.
Discussion?
With the ASF. So.
Well, that's when you come in, yeah.
Okay.
For the amendment.
Who is online is Remy, Director Mitchell. I'm told he's back from vacation, and if we have questions, members, you can ask him. The proposed FD1 version clarifies that grants under Chapter 3.34 Maui County Code will be exempt from all requirements.
Okay, you need to make a motion? She did?
I first moved to substitute Bill 184.
She needs a second.
Okay.
Oh, I thought Nohe did.
Okay.
Okay, first we needed a main motion, yeah.
Yeah.
So the first motion you made, seconded by, I thought, Member Hodgins.
Yeah.
Okay, that was the main motion.
Yep.
Then you have to make another motion to add the ASF,
Okay.
the amendment.
Okay. So I do have an ASF, which you got. I first moved to substitute Bill 184, 2024 with the proposed FD1 version. Thank you, Nohe, for the motion.
And so moved by Member Hodgins, Vice Chair Sugimura, to make this amendment, which was just passed out.
Yeah.
The ASF, and seconded by Member Hodgins. Okay, now discussion, now you can explain your ASF.
Okay. The proposed FD1 version clarifies that grants under Chapter 3.34 Maui County Code will be exempt from all requirements of Chapter 3.36 Maui County Code. It also corrects the bill's section numbers and makes other technical and grammatical revisions. Thank you very much. And as I said, Director Mitchell is available if you have questions.
Okay, but we already heard this in your committee.
Yes.
All right, so any more discussion on this ASF?
No.
This is an amendment to the main motion. All those in favor of the amendment, raise your hand, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. 7 ayes, 2 excused, motion carries. Now, we're going to do the main motion as amended.
Yes.
Any more discussion?
No more discussion.
All those in favor of the main motion as amended, raise your hand, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, so 7 ayes, 0 noes, 2 excused, motion carries. Now you can make the motion on the other item. What, 19C?
Yeah.
To suspend Rule 19C.
Rule 19C as it relates to items to allow final action at the same meeting.
Well,
as
wait,
an
we need
amendment.
a second.
Oh.
Seconded by Member Hodgins. Now you can explain. Discussion.
The rule suspension is necessary for us to act on this bill today. Thank you, Chair.
Any more discussion? All those in favor of the motion, raise your hand, say aye. 7, Member Pro Tem Kama, 7 ayes, 0 noes, 2 excused, motion carries. Okay,
Yay.
that's it for that.
Hey, that's your bill. You must be happy.
Yeah, well, happy. It's only like a year and a half later, yeah, so we'll see. Do you realize, everybody, that there were over 400 calls on this?
Yeah,
400.
we got some of them.
Yeah. Okay, final, Ms. Clerk? Ms. Clerk?
Chair, before you is Bill 185 FD1 2024, a bill for an ordinance adopting the Hawaii State Fire Code with certain amendments.
Member Hodgins?
Thank you, Chair. Move to pass Bill 185 FD1 2024 on second and final reading.
Second.
Moved by Member Hodgins, seconded by Member Rollins Fernandez to pass Bill 185 FD1 2024 on second and final reading. Discussion, Member Hodgins.
Thank you, Chair. Bill 185 FD1 2024 adopts the State Fire Code with certain amendments that will pertain to our county. Based on the DRIP Committee's discussion and its meeting of December 4th, 2024, DRIP Committee Chair Paulton sent a follow-up letter to the Department of Fire and Public Safety requesting a public outreach campaign to educate the community on the new county fire code, including vegetation management. Chief Ventura transmitted a response dated December 18th, 2024, and confirmed that brochures and other public meetings will be published once Bill 185 is enacted. And at this time, I ask for the member's support of my motion. Thank you, Chair.
All right. All those in favor of the motion, raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
7 ayes, 0 noes. Motion carries. Okay. No, I was looking at the managing director was showing somebody around. No, maybe it was the DR guy, you know. So we have to be on our best behavior. All right, members, it brings us to the end of the calendar. I hope all of you stay safe and have a wonderful time with your family and friends for the holidays. Thank you. Vice Chair Sugimura.
I have a correction. So the Von Temsky property, the funding is coming from bond funding. I think I said, my first thought. That's correct.
Yeah, you said carryover savings.
I said carryover. It's bond funding.
Yeah. Still, I'm concerned about that.
Me
But
too.
anyway, what was I going to say?
Merry Christmas.
Yeah. Yeah. No, one last thing. I'm thinking, the Christmas party we never had, and the showers we never had.
Oh.
Or the surprise shower. Well, anyway, we're kind of looking at January 17th, just in case. Okay. Huh? Yeah. Yeah, it's a surprise. It's a surprise thing. But anyway, we keep moving it. Who knows? One day it might be at Easter, but right now we're looking at January 17th, okay? So try 17th. Okay? All right, everybody. This meeting is adjourned.